Chapter 484. Tao Treasure Fragment. It is really a Tao treasure fragment. Furthermore, it seems to be the Tao treasure fragment at the center. The Chaos Divine Beast sensed the gray metal fragment and screamed in excitement. This Tao treasure fragment must be obtained. Yi Chunfeng decided in his heart. Screech! The severely injured Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle summoned the Tao treasure fragment and immediately spat out several mouthfuls of blood essence into the Tao treasure fragment. It then activated the Demon Core to control the Tao treasure fragment to attack. Under the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle's full power, the Tao treasure fragment emitted a large amount of gray light that pierced through the space and attacked Mo Fengyun, who posed the greatest threat to it. Tao of Darkness Spear. As the Tao treasure fragment was approaching, Mo Fengyun, whose strength had nearly reached the limit, roared. The Gold Eyes Fiend Python's image appeared on his body. The Tao of Darkness frenziedly fused into the black long spear. It was like a black flood dragon that pierced into the Tao treasure fragment. When the two attacks collided, there was an explosion of astonishing power that formed an oval shape in the air and bombarded Mo Fengyun and the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle. The black scales on Mo Fengyun's arm were instantly crushed by the destructive power, revealing his bloody arm while his body was also sent flying. Meanwhile, the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle's injuries worsened again. Large amounts of golden feathers were crushed and large amounts of blood flowed out uncontrollably. Heavenly Artifact Black Stone. Heavenly Artifact Serene Jade. When Mo Fengyun and the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle were both heavily injured, Gu Yu and Mo Fengyun controlled their respective heavenly artifacts to attack. They pierced through the destructive storm and bombarded the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle's body with extreme speed. Once again, they created two bloody holes on its huge body. Blood Skeleton, crush its wings. When the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle was attacked by two heavenly artifacts, Mo Fengyun took out the heavenly artifact Blood Skeleton and spat out several mouthfuls of blood essence at the Blood Skeleton. He activated the Blood Skeleton's strongest attack and bit the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle's wing, forcibly tearing a bloody wound. Take its life while it is weak. The Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle's wings were bitten off by the Blood Skeletons, causing it to lose control of its huge body. Seizing this rare opportunity, Mo Fengyun and the others joined forces and attacked the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle's huge body, forcefully shattering its injured wings. After losing its left wing, the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle let out a sorrowful howl. Its huge body fell heavily to the ground, creating a large hole in the hard ground. 10 Directions Demonic Slash. Great Demon Slaying Dragonblade. Gu Ying Assassination. Mo Fengyun and the others were extremely experienced in battle. They did not give the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle any chance to counterattack by controlling the fragment. They all unleashed their powerful Tao techniques to attack its heavily injured body, killing it with brute force. Boss, I'll be right there. At the instant the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle died, Yi Chunfeng made his move. The Golden Rock bloodline in his veins ignited as the Golden Rock wings and soul wings appeared on his body. With extreme speed, he dashed towards the bloody corpse of the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle, wanting to seize the Tao treasure fragment and the Heavenly Eagle's demonic core. Courting death. When Mo Fengyun saw that Yi Chunfeng not only did not put in any effort, but also dared to snatch the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle's belongings before it died, he was completely enraged. A black spear light shot out, entwined with the dark Tao pattern and the saber Tao pattern. The spear pierced towards Yi Chunfeng's chest. Vermilion Bird Cauldron. Mo Fengyun, who possessed a supreme-grade heaven artifact, was too terrifying. He had the strength to kill Yi Chunfeng instantly. Before the black spear light could get close, Yi Chunfeng controlled the pseudo-Tao treasure Vermilion Bird Cauldron to receive it. Buzz. There was an ear-piercing sound. The Vermilion Bird Cauldron was attacked by the black spear light and shook violently. 2 breaths later, the Vermilion Bird Cauldron was sent flying by Mo Fengyun's spear. It lost control and smashed into the distance. After sending the vermilion bird cauldron flying, the enraged Mo Fengyun continued to attack. The sharp spear light completely shrouded Yi Chunfeng, forcing Yi Chunfeng to execute the wind-riding technique and dodge with all his might. Primordial Chaos Roar. When his life was in danger, a deafening roar gushed out from Yi Chunfeng's chest. It was like a heavy hammer, ruthlessly smashing towards Mo Fengyun. Blood Devil Seal. Facing the sound wave attack released by the Chaos Divine Beast, Mo Fengyun did not dodge. He formed the Blood Devil Seal and received it head-on. With one seal, he shattered the Primordial Chaos Roar. However, in the battle with the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle, Mo Fengyun was also severely injured. Facing the powerful sound wave released by the Chaos Divine Beast had aggravated his injuries. The qi and blood in his body were also surging violently. Mo Fengyun, I only want the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle's corpse. Give it to me and we will continue to cooperate. I will bring you to the core of the ethereal immortal realm and fight for the greatest opportunity here. When Mo Fengyun's attack was delayed, Yi Chunfeng shouted out loudly. Hearing Yi Chunfeng's condition, Mo Fengyun did not bother. He continued to attack Yi Chunfeng, wanting to teach him a lesson. Mo Fengyun, if you don't stop, I will leave this place immediately. Don't regret it. I hate it the most when people threaten me. Brat, you have angered my reverse scale. I will definitely kill you. Mo Fengyun's killing intent surged. The Tao of Darkness and Tao of Saber intertwined and enveloped Yi Chunfeng. Fine, you forced me to do this. A sharp glint appeared in Yi Chunfeng's eyes. As he controlled the vermilion bird cauldron to block Mo Fengyun's full-powered attack, he suddenly charged toward Fu Manshan and Hua Fenghai, who were dodging far away. The two of you dodge quickly. Seeing Yi Chunfeng's action, Mo Fengyun's expression changed slightly. He shouted at Demon Sealing Mountain and Hua Fenghai. Primordial Chaos Roar. Without waiting for the two array masters to dodge, the Chaos Divine Beast continued to release powerful sound waves towards them. The thunderous roar exploded in their ears, causing their souls to tremble and their minds to go blank. Stop! Fu Manshan and Hua Fenghai were extremely important to Mo Fengyun. Seeing that their lives were in danger, Mo Fengyun panicked and roared at Yi Chunfeng. Too late. Flying Immortal Sword. Heavenly Treasure, Snake Spear. Yi Chunfeng used his powerful trump card and used the Flying Immortal Sword to attack Fu Manshan. At the same time, he took out the Heavenly Treasure Snake Spear and attacked Hua Fenghai. Bang! Bang! Fu Manshan and Hua Fenghai's defenses were broken. Their bodies were directly penetrated by the Flying Immortal Sword and Snake Spear. They cried out in pain and fell into a pool of blood. Roar! The Chaos Divine Beast continued to release sound waves and ruthlessly bombarded their heavily injured bodies. They were on the verge of death and were struggling in pain. Brat, I will definitely kill you today. Seeing that the array masters that he had spent a lot of money to hire were killed by Yi Chunfeng, Mo Fengyun went crazy. He let out an uncontrollable roar and decided to heavily injure Yi Chunfeng. He wanted to forcefully search his soul. Just as Mo Fengyun, who was filled with killing intent, launched a fierce attack towards Yi Chunfeng, an ear-piercing sound suddenly rang out. An extremely fast shadow streaked across the sky and flew towards Mo Qianli, who had just dug out the golden crowned sky eagle's beast core. It wanted to forcefully snatch the beast core from his hands. Returning from a trip, I'm a little tired. I'll update a chapter first and post it as soon as I'm done. Also, from next Monday onwards, I'll guarantee a weekly read packet of at least $300. Mobile reading website, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this reading. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 485. Not good. Seeing the black-robed man suddenly appear and sensing the dangerous aura coming from his body, Emo Qianli and the others' expressions changed. They all used powerful Dao skills, wanting to force him back. Faced with the ferocious attacks launched by Emo Qianli and the others, the man in black did not dodge. Instead, he rushed forward and used his body to withstand the terrifying Dao skills, appearing in front of the shocked Emo Qianli. What kind of body is this? Seeing the black-robed man using his body to withstand the Dao skills while remaining unscathed, Emo Qianli and the others' eyeballs nearly fell out of their sockets. Their hearts were in turmoil. Boom! While Emo Qianli was still in shock, the black-robed man sent a palm strike towards his chest, bringing along a powerful chi wave. Great devil-slaying dragon blade! Feeling the terror of the black-robed man's palm, Emo Qianli calmed his shocked mind. Holding a mid-grade heaven artifact, he slashed out a demonic dragon-like saber light, ruthlessly chopping at the palm light coming from the distorted space. Gotcha! When the saber and palm collided, the great devil-slaying dragon blade violently trembled and shattered like glass. After shattering Emo Qianli's Dao skill, the palm strike filled with destructive power easily broke through Emo Qianli's defenses and ruthlessly struck his chest. A large amount of blood sprayed out of Emo Qianli's mouth. His sternum had completely caved in from the palm strike. He was like a kite with its string cut as he flew back. As for the golden crown Heavenly Eagle's demon core he had just dug out, it was also snatched away by the black-robed man. "Who are you?" Emo Fengyun, who was chasing Yi Chunfeng with all his might, was also stunned by this sudden scene. He had never imagined that there would be someone in this space, and a peak expert that even he felt apprehensive about. And this black-robed man who had suddenly appeared was none other than Yi Chunfeng's final trump card. After fusing with the heaven crystal, the sword puppet had temporarily become a peak second-rank combat beast emperor. The sword puppet didn't pay attention to Emo Fengyun's question. Its body flashed, and it launched an attack at the Western Devil Sect's second elder. It wanted to forcibly kill him and take away the Dao treasure fragment he had put into his spatial ring. Courting death. When Emo Fengyun saw that the sword puppet had snatched away the golden crown Heavenly Eagle's Yao Dan and even dared to snatch the more precious Dao treasure fragment, he was immediately enraged. He gave up on chasing after Yi Chunfeng and attacked the sword puppet with his black spear. The sword puppet, whose defense was close to invincible, sensed the demon wind and cloud coming at him at an extremely fast speed. He didn't pay any attention to it at all. Streaks of sword rays with astonishing offensive power split out from his body and attacked the second elder of the West Demon Sect. Blood escape. After seeing the sword puppet heavily injure Emo Qianli with one strike, the second elder of the West Devil Sect didn't dare to face his ferocious attacks head-on. He decisively burned his blood chi and used blood escape to dodge the incoming sword lights. The second elder of the West Demon Sect was extremely fast when he used blood escape. The sword puppet, who had become a level 2 beast emperor for a short period of time, reacted even faster. Its body flashed slightly, and it took the initiative to block the second elder's escape route. Go to hell, Tao of Darkness Spear! Just as the second elder of the West Demon Sect was in danger, Emo Fengyun pierced out with his spear. The dark Dao pattern and the blade Dao pattern revolved around the tip of the black spear. It pierced the sword puppet, who didn't dodge at all. The instant the sword puppet was pierced by the Dao of Darkness spear, it also launched a sure-kill attack at the second elder, who had turned pale with fright. 6 extremely sharp sword lights split out from his body like a crescent moon in the sky. They sealed off all his escape routes and ruthlessly slashed at his body. PFFF. The second elder, who couldn't dodge, had his defense broken. His entire body was pierced through by the 6 sword lights and turned into countless pieces of flesh in midair. He died on the spot. What? Seeing the second elder being killed right before his eyes, Emo Fengyun, who was burning with rage, increased his strength. He wanted to pierce the sword puppet's body with his spear and end his life. However, when his spear pierced the sword puppet, it felt like he was piercing black iron. Not only did the spear not injure the sword puppet's body, but the black spear also sent out a huge rebounding force, which caused his arm to go numb. Retrieve. Relying on its indestructible body to withstand Mo Fengyun's Tao of Darkness spear, the sword puppet immediately took the second elder's belongings, the universe ring containing the Tao treasure shards. Its body flashed and was about to break out. "Where are you going?" Mo Fengyun suppressed his shock and shouted as he forcefully intercepted the sword puppet. He would never allow the two supreme treasures he obtained from killing the golden crown heavenly eagle to be snatched away right under his nose by someone else. "Manor Lord Gu, clan head you, quickly help me kill this person." Mo Fengyun ignored his injuries and used all his strength to stop the sword puppet. He immediately transmitted a message to Gu Yu and Yu Hong. Although the sword puppet's strength and defense shocked the two of them, they were in the same boat as Mo Fengyun. They were bound together for good or ill. They could only control their celestial treasures and risk attacking the sword puppet. Just as Mo Fengyun and the other two were attacking the sword spirit puppets with all their might, Yi Chunfeng suddenly flew to the side of the golden crown heavenly eagle's huge corpse. Controlling a universe ring with a huge capacity, he stored the corpse into the ring. Die. After storing the golden crown heavenly eagle's corpse, Yi Chunfeng suddenly attacked the heavily injured Mo Qianli. He wanted to take this opportunity to kill him and prevent future troubles. Not good. The West Demon Sect's third elder saw that Mo Qianli was in danger and did not hesitate to block in front of him. Dozens of black wheels of death split out of his body and blocked Yi Chunfeng's attack. Blood escape. Taking advantage of the third elder's block, the heavily injured Mo Qianli decisively used blood escape and turned into a bloody light to escape. "Since I can't kill him, I'll start with you." After Mo Qianli escaped, Yi Chunfeng immediately launched a fierce attack at the rank 6 defiant beast king third elder. Dragon bloodline ignite. 4 million gene of strength erupt. Slaughter halo, slaughter power release. In order to end the battle quickly, Yi Chunfeng continuously used his trump cards. A slowly rising eclipse sword split out of his body and shot towards the sky. The terrifying attack power made the third elder feel suffocated. Just as the third elder was using all his strength to block Yi Chunfeng's eclipse sword attack, the Chaos Divine Beast let out a world-shaking roar and ruthlessly attacked the third elder's body. PFFF. The sudden sneak attack of the Chaos Divine Beast caused the third elder's body and soul to tremble at the same time. Large amounts of blood flowed out of his 7 orifices and his reaction became slightly slower. And this slight delay was enough to be fatal. The sword of Eclipse came crashing down like a scorching red sun. It struck the third elder's body, breaking through his defenses and cleaving him in half from top to bottom. "Third elder! Brat, I will definitely kill you." When he saw the third elder being forcefully killed by Yi Chunfeng, Mo Fengyun's lungs were about to explode from anger. His surging anger was like a volcano erupting from his chest. Not even in his wildest dreams did he imagine that such an unforeseen event would happen. The second elder and third elder, 2 formation grandmasters, had died one after another. The Western Devil sect had suffered an unbearable blow. Furthermore, he had a feeling that this mysterious expert that suddenly appeared was most likely related to Yi Chunfeng. His group had been schemed against. It's still not certain who will die. Mo Fengyun and the rest were heavily injured after killing the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle. Now was the best time to kill them. After obtaining the 2 most important treasures, Yi Chunfeng made a prompt decision and ordered the sword puppet to counterattack. He was prepared to kill Mo Fengyun and the rest while they were heavily injured to prevent future troubles. Mobile reading site, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the bookmark button below to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 486. Buzz. Boundless energy surged out of the sword puppet's body, forming a huge white sword shadow above its head. The unparalleled sharpness cut through space as if it wanted to split the sky apart. Die! The sword spirit puppet let out a low roar that sounded like muffled thunder. The white sword shadow slashed down fiercely towards Mo Fengyun with suffocating power. Tao of Darkness Spear. Sensing that the white sword shadow had completely enveloped him, Mo Fengyun immediately raised his black spear to meet it. The spear light that was filled with two great Tao intents pierced the white sword shadow. The surging power caused the surrounding space to distort as the sword shadow and spear light clashed intensely. After the first strike, the sword puppet, which was burning a large amount of the heaven crystal's energy, continued to attack. Waves of sword shadows swept across the sky like a tidal wave towards Mo Fengyun. The powerful attacks forced the severely injured Mo Fengyun to retreat continuously. The black scales that covered his body were constantly damaged as his blood boiled violently. Chaos Divine Beasts, let's take one each. Let's end this quickly. While the sword puppet was forcefully suppressing Mo Fengyun's attacks, Yi Chunfeng summoned the Chaos Divine Beasts to attack Gu Yu and Yu Hong together. The half-step Emperor Realm Mo Qianli was also severely injured and hid far away. He did not dare to get close to Yi Chunfeng and the others in case he was caught in the crossfire and killed. Damn, this person is indeed your partner. Mo Fengyun, who was attacking with all his might, saw that Yi Chunfeng did not escape and instead summoned the Chaos Divine Beasts to attack Gu Yu and Yu Hong. He was completely sure that the sword puppet was his partner. He was so angry that his face turned black as he let out an uncontrollable roar. The moment Mo Fengyun was distracted, the sword puppet immediately seized the opportunity and blasted out a shocking fist light that wanted to shatter the sky, aiming for Mo Fengyun's chest. Blood Devil Seal. As the shocking fist light approached, Mo Fengyun quickly formed a seal with both hands, forming the Blood Devil Seal to counter it. Kacha, the Blood Devil Seal and the shocking fist light collided. The Scarlet Blood Devil Seal immediately shattered, unable to block the sword puppet's fist. Blood Skeleton. In that moment of crisis, Devil Fengyun summoned the Blood Skeleton, which flew out of his body and collided with the sword spirit puppet's fist, blocking it. But before Mo Fengyun had a chance to catch his breath, the sword puppet continued to attack. Its ferocious attacks continued to suppress him and worsen his injuries. The destructive power of their battle was too terrifying. For a moment, the entire space was filled with sand and stones, and the world was dark. The terrifying sword shadow and spear light interweaved together, forming a destructive storm that engulfed the two. In the storm, they did not slow down their attacks and continued to fiercely attack each other. When the battle between the sword puppet and Mo Fengyun reached its climax, Yi Chunfeng and the Chaos Divine Beast worked together to suppress Gu Yu and Yu Hong's attack. Vermilion Bird Cauldron, Serpent Spear, Ambush. Yi Chunfeng controlled the two supreme treasures and continuously attacked the half-step Emperor Gu Yu, forcing her to retreat again and again. Blood dripped from the corner of her mouth. Gu Ying's assassination. Gu Yu, who was in a passive state, shouted. A black shadow appeared from her body and flashed in the void. It strangely approached Yi Chunfeng and launched a fatal attack at him. The heavenly Tao is merciless. Gu Yu's attack was extremely sudden, but Yi Chunfeng's soul spirit was extremely powerful and sharp. He instantly captured the trajectory of Gu Ying's assassination attack. 4 patterns of heavenly Tao flew out of his body and transformed into the power of heaven's might, directly destroying Gu Ying's assassination attack. The moment Gu Ying was killed, Gu Yu's body suddenly became blurry. She drew a light shadow in the air and approached Yi Chunfeng at a speed that was hard to see with the naked eye. Tao Skill, Soul Shock Strike. A strange energy with an extremely fast frequency gushed out of Gu Yu's body. It ignored Yi Chunfeng's physical defenses and blasted into his soul spirit. Buzz! Yi Chunfeng felt his soul spirit tremble, and his mind went blank. His reaction speed slowed down. Die! Taking advantage of the moment when Yi Chunfeng's soul spirit slowed down, a mid-grade heaven artifact covered with thorns appeared in Gu Yu's hand. She thrust it at Yi Chunfeng's chest with extreme speed. She wanted to pierce through his heart meridian and cripple his cultivation. TSK. The black thorn that was filled with Tao intent and soul power stabbed into Yi Chunfeng's chest. However, Yi Chunfeng's physical body was comparable to a high-grade heaven artifact. Gu Yu's deliberate stab only injured his skin and was unable to penetrate his body. What? Feeling the rebound from the black thorn, Gu Yu's heart was in turmoil. She didn't expect Yi Chunfeng's physical body to be so strong. Her all-out attack was actually unable to pierce through his body. Groan! Feeling the pain from his chest, Yi Chunfeng instantly came back to his senses. The sword Dao pattern and thunder Dao pattern surged out of his body and merged with the burning power of the dragon blood to form a soaring sword. He ruthlessly slashed at Gu Yu, who had turned pale with fright. TSK. Gu Yu, who couldn't dodge in time, was sent flying by Yi Chunfeng's sword. Large amounts of blood flowed out from her body. Gu Yu was injured by Yi Chunfeng, and the Chaos Divine Beast, which was comparable to a half-step combat beast emperor, had the absolute advantage. Waves of tsunami-like roars constantly bombarded Yu Hong, causing his blood to churn as he was forced to retreat. Clan Headyu, the situation here is completely out of control. Why don't we retreat? The great fortuitous opportunities in the ethereal immortal realm might be very tempting, but their lives were more important. After being injured by Yi Chunfeng, Gu Yu had the intention to retreat. She transmitted a message to Yu Hong, who was in a sorry state. Alright, let's go. Surrounded by danger, Yu Hong, who couldn't hold on any longer, agreed. The two of them transmitted a message to Mo Fengyun, who was also in a precarious situation. Suddenly, they abandoned Yi Chunfeng and the Chaos Divine Beast and flew away with extreme speed. Once Gu Yu and Yu Hong escaped, the severely injured Mo Qianli also quickly escaped. Only Mo Fengyun and the sword puppet were left behind. Boss, they escaped. Should we give chase? Seeing Gu Yu and Yu Hong suddenly escape, the Chaos Divine Beast immediately asked Yi Chunfeng. The two of them are nothing to be afraid of. Our priority is to deal with Mo Fengyun. As long as we can kill him, the others won't be able to threaten us. Yi Chunfeng didn't chase after Gu Yu and the others. Instead, he quickly turned around and took the risk to approach Mo Fengyun, who was fighting fiercely with the sword puppet. He controlled the vermilion bird cauldron and the snake spear to attack Mo Fengyun. Mo Fengyun was already severely injured and his strength was limited. He was already suppressed by the sword puppet. Now that he was being attacked by Yi Chunfeng and the Chaos Divine Beast, his situation suddenly became dangerous. He could be severely injured at any time. Brat, I will remember this enmity. In the future, I will definitely return it tenfold. Mo Fengyun, who was in grief and indignation, didn't dare to stay any longer. He left behind a ruthless sentence and wanted to force his way out. There's no need for the future. Leave your life here today. Yi Chunfeng appeared in front of Mo Fengyun in a flash. The vermilion bird cauldron and the snake shadow bombarded him one after another. The 9 flame dragon sword shadows enveloped the void, not giving him a chance to escape. You want to kill me? You're still far from it. Just as the two supreme treasures collided with Mo Fengyun's body, 10 shadows suddenly appeared from Mo Fengyun's body. They deceived the vermilion bird cauldron and the snake spear and rushed to the sky under the sword puppet's attack. They tore apart the low-grade Dao skill, Flame Dragon's destruction. In the next moment, Mo Fengyun's body exploded with a bloody light. Like a strange meteor, He streaked across the sky and escaped before Yi Chunfeng and the others could stop him. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 487. Fuck, I let that bastard get away. Seeing Mo Fengyun turn into a crimson shadow and disappear into the horizon, the divine beast of primal chaos panted heavily and roared in dissatisfaction. Emperors really aren't that easy to kill. Yi Chunfeng sucked in a deep breath and showed a trace of regret. If he couldn't kill Mo Fengyun in front of such a great opportunity, killing him in the future would be as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Come, primal chaos, this Class 7 Heavenly Beast Core is for you. Space Swallower, this is the essence blood of the golden-crowned Heavenly Eagle. Yi Chunfeng took out the precious Class 7 Heavenly Beast Core and gave it to the Chaos Divine Beast. He then used the Black Flame Skyfire to melt the golden-crowned Heavenly Eagle's corpse and gave the refined essence blood to the Space Swallower. Vermilion Bird Cauldron, collect. Afterward, Yi Chunfeng took out the mysterious fragment of the Tao treasure and controlled the Vermilion Bird Cauldron to absorb it. He quickly refined and fused it. Let's go. Let's go deeper. I think we shouldn't be far from the core of the misty, immortal realm. After doing all this, Yi Chunfeng swallowed a heaven-rank soul pill to recover the soul force he had expended. Boss, are you not going to care about Jianqin anymore? The Chaos Divine Beast swallowed the golden-crowned Heavenly Eagle's core and looked at the steel that had absorbed Jianqin. This steel is Jianqin's fortuitous encounter. I don't know how long he'll need to pass the steel's test, but with the power within the steel, it won't be easy for Mo Fengyun to break through it. Moreover, Mo Fengyun won't have the time to care about Jianqin. I think he'll immediately chase after us once he recovers, so Jianqin should be very safe. Alright, let's go. With that, Yi Chunfeng stored the sword puppet and the space swallower into his cosmos ring. He had the Chaos Divine Beast stay in the Chaos Divine Tree and summoned the Golden Pung Wings. They flew into the depths of the mysterious space at an extremely fast speed. Why is the spatial wall becoming more and more fragile? Yi Chunfeng flew in this mysterious space for more than an hour. Suddenly, he felt that the walls of the space had become extremely fragile. The spirit chi had also become violent. Hurricanes swept through heaven and earth, as if this space could collapse at any time. Not good. There's danger. Just as Yi Chunfeng radiated the power of the God-Eater brain, he suddenly sensed danger. Without hesitation, he used the wind-riding spell and instantly increased his speed, dodging far away. The moment he dodged, a strange spatial crack appeared. It was like a huge, devouring mouth, swallowing the violent spiritual chi in the air. As expected, this fragile space hides terrifying spatial crack. Yi Chunfeng breathed a sigh of relief after narrowly dodging the spatial crack. He muttered to himself with lingering fear. After discovering the existence of the spatial rift, Yi Chunfeng became cautious. The power of the God-Eater brain radiated out completely, sensing the changes in the fragile space and guarding against the spatial rift. Yi Chunfeng cautiously flew for over 10 meters before another spatial crack appeared. However, with the help of the God-Eater brain, this strange spatial crack did not pose any threat to Yi Chunfeng. He easily dodged it. However, as he went deeper, Yi Chunfeng discovered that the entire space had become even more fragile. The frequency of spatial cracks appearing was constantly increasing. Often, after one spatial crack appeared, a second one would appear. This was a great threat to Yi Chunfeng. Just as Yi Chunfeng was flying dangerously with the help of the God-Eater brain, he suddenly discovered a white light not far in front of him. It illuminated the entire space as if it was daytime. That's a lotus flower. Through the glaring white light, Yi Chunfeng faintly discovered a basin-sized snow lotus flower that was slowly blooming. It was growing in the spatial crack and releasing endless white light. Primal chaos. Do you know what kind of lotus flower that is? Sensing how extraordinary this snow lotus flower was, Yi Chunfeng summoned the primal chaos divine beast and asked, "Heavenly lotus flowers. That's something that only appears in the heaven realm. It's nurtured by heavenly energy. I didn't think there would be one here." Legend is that a heavenly lotus flower grows a single petal every 1,000 years. As for that one in front, it probably has over 100 petals. It should be over 100,000 years old. The primal chaos divine beast's eyes widened as it stared at the snow lotus flower. It had recognized its origin. A heavenly lotus flower nurtured by heavenly energy. Could the reason why this spatial wall is so weak be related to this heavenly lotus flower? Muttered Yi Chunfeng. Yes. For a heavenly lotus flower to be nurtured, it needs to absorb a large amount of heavenly energy. As time passes, this spatial wall will naturally become weak. The primal chaos divine beast nodded. I have to obtain this heavenly lotus flower. Every time Yi Chunfeng broke through to the next level, he would need a huge amount of energy. The heavenly lotus in front of him could solve his urgent need. Once he broke through to the second level of Defiant Beast King Realm, his strength would increase by several folds, and his ability to protect himself would be greatly increased. However, just as Yi Chunfeng was about to grab the heavenly lotus flower, Yi Chunfeng's sharp senses sensed a dangerous aura around it. He decisively stopped and dodged. The instant he dodged, over a dozen spatial cracks appeared, sealing the space around the heavenly lotus flower. If Yi Chunfeng had tried to get close to the heavenly lotus flower, he would have been devoured by those spatial cracks. His body would have been torn to shreds. Boss, this heavenly lotus flower has been growing for over 100,000 years. It should be one with this space. If you take the risk of getting close to it, it will naturally counterattack, said the primal chaos divine beast. The divine beast of chaos said, "You can't get close to it, but your indestructible puppet should be able to. The space crack shouldn't be able to crush its body." "Yes, I will let the sword puppet give it a try." Yi Chunfeng nodded. With a thought, he summoned the sword puppet. He handed the ruler weapon to it and ordered it to fly towards the heavenly lotus flower. The sword puppet approached the heavenly lotus flower with extreme speed. Once again, over a dozen spatial cracks appeared around the heavenly lotus flower and tried to devour the sword puppet. The sword spirit puppet was not affected in the slightest by the destructive power gushing out from the spatial rift. Relying on its indestructible body, it forcibly passed through more than 10 spatial rifts and approached the heavenly lotus the size of a washbasin. Swish! Swish! Just as the sword spirit puppet was about to touch the heavenly lotus, a series of ear-piercing noises suddenly rang out. Numerous sharp black roots broke out of the fragile space wall and coiled around the sword spirit puppet at an extremely fast speed. Heaven crystal ignition. The instant the sword puppet was wrapped by the heavenly lotus flower's roots, the sword puppet burned a large amount of heaven crystal. A terrifying energy was emitted from its body and forcefully tore apart the black root. Wrath of divine punishment. Yi Chunfeng also attacked from a distance. The black flames heavenly fire, ancient extreme heavenly water, and ancient extreme heavenly thunder quickly fused together and formed the power of divine punishment. It forcefully passed through the strange spatial cracks and bombarded the heavenly lotus flower's root. Although the heavenly lotus flower was nurtured by the power of heaven and had grown for 100,000 years, its attacking power wasn't strong. Under Yi Chunfeng's attacks from a distance and the sword puppet's burning of heaven crystal, its roots were constantly being shredded. After about 15 minutes, the heavenly lotus flower parasitized in the depths of the spatial zone. Tens of thousands of roots were all shredded, and the sword puppet successfully plucked it. Without the heavenly lotus flower's control, the fragile spatial wall stabilized slightly. With the help of the God-Eater brain, Yi Chunfeng repeatedly sensed the heavenly lotus flower but didn't sense any danger. He took the risk and crossed the spatial cracks that were hidden in the spatial crack. He appeared beside the sword puppet and struck out several array patterns to seal the heavenly lotus flower. However, at this moment, an aura that made him feel suffocated suddenly locked onto him. Relying on his powerful foundation and strength, Mo Fengyun stabilized his injuries and rushed over with murderous intent. Mobile reading website, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this reading. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 488. Not good. Mo Fengyun has caught up. Sensing that Mo Fengyun's aura had locked onto him, Yi Chunfeng's expression changed drastically. He didn't expect Mo Fengyun to catch up so quickly. He quickly put the heavenly lotus into his universe ring and flew towards the end of this fragile space at an extremely fast speed. Where are you going? Although Mo Fengyun was shocked by the sword puppet's strength, Mo Fengyun would not allow the great opportunity in the ethereal immortal realm to go to waste. Therefore, no matter what price he had to pay, he had to kill Yi Chunfeng and the others. Gotcha! Just as Mo Fengyun was about to forcefully pass through the spatial cracks, the fragile space trembled slightly. Spatial cracks that looked like devouring mouths appeared and sealed the space in front of him. Although Mo Fengyun was one step away from becoming a level 2 beast emperor, he did not have a body as strong as the sword spirit puppet, which could ignore the destructive power coming from the spatial crack. He had no choice but to stop and watch Yi Chunfeng fly faster and faster, further and further away. Soon, Yi Chunfeng disappeared from his sight. Boss, why are you running? It's extremely advantageous for us to fight him in this fragile space. With the help of the spatial cracks, that puppet of yours has a high chance of killing him, the primal chaos divine beast asked in confusion as Yi Chunfeng flew rapidly. The sword puppet does not have much energy left. Once the sword puppet's energy is exhausted, it will be devoured by the spatial cracks and I will lose it. Yi Chunfeng sighed helplessly in his heart. So that's how it is. That old bastard got lucky, the chaos divine beast said angrily. After losing the heavenly lotus, the fragile space stabilized a lot. However, Yi Chunfeng still encountered many spatial cracks as he flew. With the help of the God-Eater brain, Yi Chunfeng narrowly avoided the spatial cracks and flew to the end of this fragile space. He found a dilapidated cave abode. An immortal cave. There's actually an immortal cave here. Perhaps the fall of the misty, immortal realm from the heaven domain has something to do with this immortal cave. The primal chaos divine beast flew under the dilapidated immortal cave, blinking its round eyes as it asked, Hundun, are you saying that this cave also came from the heaven domain? Yi Chunfeng's eyes blazed as he asked. If this cave abode came from the heaven domain, then it was very likely to be the biggest secret of the ethereal immortal realm. It hid an opportunity that made the experts of the Duhan continent jealous. Even the heavenly Tao inheritance that Shui Piaomiao mentioned might be in this cave abode. Yes, judging from the presence of this cave, it must be from the heaven region. I just don't know who it belongs to, the chaos sacred beast said with a nod. Space swallowing bug, devour restriction. Time was of the essence as Mo Fengyun could catch up with them at any time. Yi Chunfeng did not control the God-Eater brain to break through the restrictive spell at the entrance of this dilapidated cave mansion. Instead, he summoned the space swallower that had swallowed the blood essence of the golden-crowned sky eagle and had rapidly grown to a level 6 heavenly beast. Ka. Following Yi Chunfeng's order, the space swallower immediately revealed its sharp teeth and started to chew on the restrictive spell at the entrance of the cave. However, because the restrictive spell at the entrance of this dilapidated cave mansion was passed down from the heaven region, it contained a terrifying amount of energy. The level 6 heavenly beast, the space swallower, found it extremely difficult to chew on the restrictive spell. After half an hour, it only managed to make a small dent. Just as the space swallower was doing its best to chew on the restrictive spell, Mo Fengyun relied on his powerful strength and sharp senses to successfully cross the fragile space and catch up with him. Sword puppet, chaos sacred beast, stop him with all your might. Don't let him disturb the space swallower. As Mo Fengyun caught up with them, Yi Chunfeng immediately summoned the sword puppet and ordered him and the chaos sacred beast to attack Mo Fengyun with all their might. Buzz! The sword puppet turned its body into a sword and turned into a sharp light sword. It cut through all obstacles and slashed at Mo Fengyun. As the sword slashed, Mo Fengyun could clearly see that the fragile space in front of him was directly split apart by the sword puppet, forming a winding space crack. Tao of Darkness Spear. Before the sword slash could get close to him, Mo Fengyun took out a supreme-grade heaven artifact, Black Long Spear. It was like a black dragon coming out of its cave, turning the sky upside down as it pierced forward. The moment the two attacks collided, the entire space shattered like glass. Waves of terrifying hurricanes were released from the shattered space, engulfing the two of them. Roar of chaos. Just as the space in front of them started to collapse, the chaos sacred beast's crimson body swelled into a ball. A powerful sound wave was released from its mouth and blasted into the collapsed space. It swept toward Mo Fengyun, whose expression changed slightly, and forced him to retreat. Space Swallower, hurry up with your devouring. Yi Chunfeng kept urging with his mind. The sword puppet did not have much energy left. Once the energy in its body was depleted, the situation would be reversed immediately, and Yi Chunfeng would be in a desperate situation. Crunch! Crunch! Hearing Yi Chunfeng's urging, the space swallower sped up its devouring speed and started to chew through the opening. Soon, the opening in the restriction at the cave dwelling's entrance became bigger and bigger, revealing a dark golden door made of special materials and engraved with two beast heads. Beast soul form. Mo Fengyun, who was fighting intensely with the sword puppet and the chaos sacred beast, saw the exposed cave dwelling's entrance through the chaotic space. He did not hesitate to transform into his strongest beast soul form, greatly increasing his strength. Tao intent of shadow speed amplification. In the next moment, a large number of Tao patterns of shadow emerged from Mo Fengyun's body, increasing his speed. He wanted to forcefully break through the sword puppet and the chaos sacred beast's obstruction, kill Yi Chunfeng, and rush into the mysterious cave dwelling. Roar! Seeing Mo Fengyun's intention, the chaos sacred beast continued to release a powerful roar attack. However, this time, it was not attacking Mo Fengyun, but the fragile space in front of Mo Fengyun. Crunch! Crunch! The fragile space, which was full of cracks, was hit by the powerful sound waves released by the chaos sacred beast and immediately collapsed. Endless destructive force seeped out and permeated the space, forcefully stopping Mo Fengyun from trying to break through. Slash! At this moment, the sword puppet also slashed with its sword. A sword light, which looked like the Milky Way, descended from the sky. It carried a shocking destructive force and slashed the collapsed space in front of Mo Fengyun, increasing the size of the collapse. Chaos sacred beast, sword puppet come. While the fragile space was collapsing and blocking Mo Fengyun, Yi Chunfeng quickly summoned the chaos sacred beast and the sword puppet. Hearing Yi Chunfeng's call, the sword puppet ignored the destructive force released by the collapsed space and forcefully passed through the collapsed space. Together with the chaos sacred beast, it quickly flew to Yi Chunfeng's side. At this moment, the space swallower had already bitten open a huge opening in the cave dwelling's restriction. It was enough for Yi Chunfeng to enter. Unleash the power of the 3 spiritual pearls, 4,000,000 pounds of force. Yi Chunfeng took a deep breath and channeled the surging power into his arms. He pressed heavily on the ferocious beast's head and relied on the powerful force to push open the dark golden cave dwelling's door. When the door opened, a surge of majestic spirit chi and nomological force that far surpassed the fighting soul continent gushed out and bombarded Yi Qinfeng's body, causing his body to tremble. Feeling that the nomological force in the cave dwelling was different from the outside world, Yi Qinfeng did not hesitate. He kept the sword puppet, the chaos sacred beast, and the space swallower into his body. In a flash, he broke into this mysterious and unknown cave dwelling that seemed to belong to an important figure in the heaven domain. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 489. Boom. Boom. The moment Yi Qinfeng entered the dilapidated cave abode, the slowly closing dark golden door was immediately hit hard. Mo Fengyun, who had taken the risk of passing through the collapsed space, attacked the door with all his might before the restrictions on the door closed. He wanted to force his way in. Sword puppet blocked the door. The moment the dark golden door was forced open by Mo Fengyun, Yi Qinfeng summoned the sword puppet and blocked the violently shaking dark golden door with him. They forcibly closed it, not giving Mo Fengyun a chance to force his way in. Mo Fengyun was completely enraged by his failure to break into the cave abode. He quickly burned his spiritual beast bloodline to increase his strength as much as possible. He held his black spear and attacked the tightly closed door. However, Yi Qinfeng and the sword puppet were too strong. No matter how Mo Fengyun attacked, he could not force the door open. Gradually, the restrictions swallowed by the space swallower bugs healed and completely blocked Mo Fengyun's attacks, leaving him outside. Phew, we should be safe for now. Mo Fengyun's fierce attacks suddenly stopped. Yi Qinfeng guessed that the restrictions swallowed by the space swallower bugs should have healed. He heaved a sigh of relief. Sword puppet, I am preparing to break through to the second-rank Beast King realm here. Remember not to let Mo Fengyun in while I am breaking through. The dilapidated cave abode was full of mysteries and unknown dangers. In order to increase his life-saving means, Yi Qinfeng was preparing to refine the heavenly lotus here and break through to the second-rank Beast King realm. Chaos, do you know what the taboos are when refining the heavenly lotus? Yi Qinfeng took out the heavenly lotus that had dozens of array patterns sealed on it and asked. The heavenly lotus is nurtured by the power of heaven and has no impurities. Therefore, there is no need to refine it when swallowing it. Just eat it directly. However, the most important part of the heavenly lotus is not its pure white petals, but its core. Therefore, I suggest that you refine the core of the heavenly lotus first before refining the petals. This way, the heavenly lotus's spirituality will be the least lost, the Chaos Divine Beast said. Okay, I understand. Yi Qinfeng nodded and consumed a heaven-level soul elixir to recover his consumed soul power and condition. Boss, I'm going to cultivate too. With that, the Chaos Divine Beast entered the Chaos Divine Wood and continued to refine the Golden Crown Heavenly Eagle's demonic core. After about half an incense stick's worth of time, Yi Qinfeng adjusted himself to his best condition. He plucked the crystal-like core of the flower, which contained extremely pure energy, and swallowed it. Suddenly, he felt a surge of boundless energy being released from his mouth. It flowed down his throat like a flood breaking through a dam and surged into his body, instantly opening up all the meridians in his body. If it wasn't for the fact that Yi Qinfeng's meridians had been tempered thousands of times and had reached a terrifying level of toughness, the energy released by the heart of the heavenly lotus would have been enough to tear apart all the meridians in his body, turning him into a cripple. Soul-devouring art, refine. Yi Qinfeng relied on his extraordinary willpower and unyielding belief to endure the inhumane pain in his body. He circulated the soul-devouring art at high speed to refine the energy and raise his strength. Just as he was trying to break through to the second-rank defiant Beast King realm, Mo Fengyun, who was blocked outside the cave dwelling, went crazy. He held a peak-grade heaven artifact spear and crazily attacked the restriction outside the cave dwelling. He wanted to forcibly tear open the restriction and enter. Although his attack power was terrifying, the restriction outside the cave dwelling was inherited from the heaven domain. Under his ferocious attacks, there were only some distortions, but there were no signs of breaking. Mo Fengyun had no choice but to give up on the idea of forcibly tearing open the restriction and think of other methods. As Mo Fengyun circled around the several miles wide cave dwelling that looked like a meteor and contained a mustard seed space, he unexpectedly discovered a weak spell at the bottom of the cave dwelling. Hidden within the spell was a slender gap. The heavens are helping me, the heavens are really helping me. After discovering the cave dwelling's weak point, Mo Fengyun was overjoyed. He didn't hesitate to transform into his strongest battle form. He took out 2 destructive talismans and attacked with all his strength. Under the self-detonation of the 2 destruction talismans and his relentless attacks, the weak restriction outside the cave dwelling broke. Mo Fengyun's body flashed and he charged into the cave dwelling's interspatial space. Yi Chunfeng, who was trying to break through to the second-rank defiant Beast King realm, was unaware of this. He was still immersed in refining the Heavenly Lotus. Phew, the Heavenly Lotus is truly worthy of being a Heaven Domain spirit item. The energy it contains is truly terrifying. The energy Yi Chunfeng required to break through to the second-rank defiant Beast King realm was comparable to a 5th-rank defiant Beast King trying to break through to the 6th rank. However, he endured the inhumane pain and refined the core of the Heavenly Lotus. His soul energy soared to a terrifying degree, almost reaching the limit of a 1st-rank defiant Beast King. With the breakthrough imminent, he didn't waste any time. He quickly plucked the pure white petals that contained pure energy and swallowed them. He circulated the soul-devouring art and continued to refine them. After losing the core of the Heavenly Lotus, the spirit energy within the petals was quickly drained. However, this 100,000-year-old Heavenly Lotus still had over 100 petals. As large amounts of petals turned into spirit energy and flowed into Yi Chunfeng's body, his soul energy continued to soar. The 2-headed Blood Dragon King's power grew stronger and stronger. Time ticked by. When Yi Chunfeng had absorbed all the petals of the Heavenly Lotus into his body, the soul power in his body had finally reached saturation. His cultivation foundation had also become unbreakable. Second-rank defiant Beast King breakthrough. Sensing that his soul energy and the 2-headed Blood Dragon King had both reached their limits, Yi Chunfeng didn't suppress his cultivation anymore. He broke through the bottleneck in one go and became a 2nd-rank defiant Beast King. His physical strength increased by 500 kilograms, and his lifespan doubled to 3,600 years. Breakthrough, I have finally become a 2nd-rank defiant Beast King. Sensing that his body was filled with boundless soul energy and power, Yi Chunfeng felt that his strength had increased by 5 to 6 times. He revealed a satisfied smile. Roar! Just as he was silently sensing the increase in his strength, he suddenly felt a terrifying aura leaking out from his heart. Primal chaos has broken through. Through the primal chaos divine wood, Yi Chunfeng felt the strength of the primal chaos divine beast. After refining the golden-crowned heavenly eagle's demonic core, the primal chaos divine beast's strength had also recovered. It had reached the level of a level 7 heavenly beast and was comparable to a combat beast emperor expert. Haha, I have finally recovered to the level of a level 7 heavenly beast. Boss, we don't have to be afraid of that Mo Fengyun now. We can rest assured and fight for the great opportunities in this cave. The primal chaos divine beast's excited voice rang in Yi Chunfeng's mind. And let's go. Yi Chunfeng didn't delay any longer. He kept the sword puppet back into his body and summoned the golden rock wings. He flew towards the depths of the mysterious cave to search for the great opportunities that might exist here. Red envelopes on Monday, over 300 red envelopes this week. Mobile reading website, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record your reading history. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 490. Restriction. There's a restriction in front. Yi Chunfeng flew in the broken cave dwelling's mustard seed space for half an hour. His powerful soul spirit sensed the power of the restriction not far ahead and immediately sped up. I wonder what kind of opportunity lies in this restriction. Looking at the restriction that sealed the mysterious space in front of him, Yi Chunfeng immediately summoned the space swallower and ordered it to devour the restriction. After about an hour, the space swallower devoured the restriction with all its might. A big hole appeared in the restriction that sealed the mysterious space. Yi Chunfeng decisively kept the space swallower into his Qian Kuan ring and flew in. When Yi Chunfeng took out several moonlight stones and illuminated this pitch-black mysterious space, he saw from afar that in this mysterious space, there was only a 10-meter-tall tree. It would take 4 people to wrap their arms around it, and it had luxuriant foliage and was red and blue in color. Am I seeing things? This looks like the water dragon fruit tree. The primal chaos divine beast appeared behind Yi Chunfeng as he stared at the huge tree in front of him that was covered in red and blue. Yi Chunfeng was surprised. Why? Is this water dragon fruit tree very famous? Hearing the chaos divine beast's surprised tone, Yi Chunfeng asked. Of course, this water fire dragon fruit is also an extraordinary spiritual item in the heaven realm, and the tree heart he nurtured is called the water fire dragon fruit, which is even more valuable than the heavenly lotus you just consumed, the chaos divine beast said. If it's more valuable than the heavenly lotus, then I must get this water dragon fruit. Yi Chunfeng's eyes lit up. He looked at the water dragon fruit tree with a burning gaze. If he could get the water dragon fruit, Yi Chunfeng was confident that he could become a level 3 defiant beast king in a short time. By then, he would be able to fight against Mo Fengyun. Roar! When Yi Chunfeng got close to the water dragon fruit tree, a deafening lion's roar sounded. It was like thousands of thunderbolts exploding in Yi Chunfeng's ears, causing his soul spirit to tremble. As expected, this aqua dragon fruit tree has a heavenly beast guarding it. Hearing the lion's roar, Yi Chunfeng immediately turned to look behind the huge aqua dragon fruit tree, and saw a level 7 heavenly beast charging towards them, its body almost 10 meters long, its entire body covered in fiery red lion fur. Its golden eyes were wide open, and it was charging towards them. Damn, that seems to be an ancient variant, the golden clear dragon blood lion. It's the offspring of a real dragon and a golden lion. The blood of the real dragon and the golden lion flows in its body. I never thought that there would be such a rare heavenly beast in this lower realm. Looking at the gigantic lion in front of him and sensing the bloodline power flowing in his body, the chaos divine beast showed vigilance in his small round eyes. An ancient species with the blood of the true dragon and the golden lion flowing through their veins. Yi Chunfeng's eyes widened as he asked, "Isn't that very powerful?" "Not very powerful, but quite powerful," the chaos divine beast said solemnly. "If I had a physical body, I would be able to suppress it at the same level. But now I only have my spirit, and I am no match for it. However, if you and I work together with the sword puppet, we still have a chance to severely injure it." The chaos divine beast looked at the golden clear dragon blood lion that was getting closer and closer. Roar, chaos spirit. I never thought that I would meet the chaos spirit here. If I devour you, I might be able to break through to become a level 8 heavenly beast. The golden clear dragon blood lion opened its eyes wide as it stared greedily at the chaos spirit. It roared ferociously. Damn, you dog, you actually want to devour your Grandpa Chaos. If your Grandpa Chaos had a physical body, a fart would be enough to kill you. Hearing that the golden clear dragon blood lion wanted to devour it, the Chaos Divine Beast was so angry that it almost exploded. It did not back down and scolded loudly. Roar! The Jin Qing dragon blood lion roared, and a blood-red light was released from its mouth, bombarding the Chaos Soul. Sword Puppet Chaos, let's do it! In order to obtain the water-fire dragon fruit, Yi Chunfeng quickly summoned the Sword Puppet, which only had 1/3 of its energy left, to face the bloody light released by the golden clear dragon blood lion. Buzz! The Sword Puppet, which was at the front, turned into a sword and slashed out a white sword shadow. It tore the space apart and slashed at the bloody light, blocking the attack. Dual-headed Blood Dragon King fuse. Dragon Blood Meridians ignite. 8 Sha Azura Technique, 5 Killing Halos. 8,500,000 Gene of Strength explode. 7 Swords of Judgment eclipse. Yi Chunfeng continuously used his trump cards, and his strength rose steadily. The Heavenly Dao Pattern, Sword Dao Pattern, and Lightning Dao Pattern quickly fused together and merged into the high-grade Heavenly Artifact King Weapon, forming a Sword of Eclipse. It was like a rolling sea as it slashed towards the golden clear dragon blood lion. Primordial Chaos Roar. The Chaos Divine Beast also released a powerful sound wave attack at this moment. The golden clear dragon blood lion didn't expect Yi Chunfeng's attack to be so powerful. It was careless and allowed the Sword of Eclipse to break through its defenses, leaving a bloody wound. Then, it was attacked by the Chaos Roar. Its back was instantly split open, and a large amount of blood flowed out. It was in so much pain that it roared in pain. Slash. The golden clear dragon blood lion was injured by Yi Chunfeng and the Chaos Divine Beast. The Sword Puppet, which had withstood the bloody light, continued to attack. It slashed out a world-shaking sword, which was like the Milky Way flowing in reverse. It continued to attack the golden clear dragon blood lion's wound. It wanted to take advantage of its injury to aggravate its injuries and kill it in one fell swoop. Roar! The golden clear dragon blood lion suffered another heavy blow. Its huge body was riddled with wounds, and it was in so much pain that it roared at the sky. Blood Meridians ignite. The golden clear dragon blood lion's body was severely injured. It had ignited its blood, and a power that suffocated Yi Chunfeng and company was emitted from its bloody body. Boss, be careful. It is about to go all out. Sensing the golden clear dragon blood lion's sudden increase in strength, the fearless Chaos Divine Beast couldn't help but reveal a serious expression. I am going to swallow all of you. The golden clear dragon blood lion controlled its bloodline power to suppress its injuries. It roared and attacked Yi Chunfeng and company. Sword Puppet received the attack. Sensing the lethal aura from the golden clear dragon blood lion, Yi Chunfeng decisively ordered the Sword Puppet to receive the attack. It endured the golden clear dragon blood lion's most ferocious attacks. Jiang Yi and the Chaos Divine Beast assisted from the side, constantly attacking the golden clear dragon blood lion's wound, worsening its injuries. Just as Yi Chunfeng, the Sword Puppet, and the Chaos Divine Beast were fighting fiercely with the golden clear dragon blood lion for the aqua fire dragon fruit, Mo Fengyun, who entered the cave through a crack, was also fighting fiercely with a grade 7 heavenly beast, the golden armored heavenly turtle, for a precious heaven fruit. Although the golden armored heavenly turtle's defense was extremely terrifying, Mo Fengyun's strength was no longer suppressed by the mysterious seal in the ethereal immortal realm. He could unleash his peak strength. In addition to the terrifying attack power of the supreme grade heaven artifact Black Spear and the destruction of the Tao of Darkness, the golden armored heavenly turtle's shell kept cracking. Streaks of sharp spear lights penetrated the cracks on the turtle's shell and kept damaging its body. After more than 6 hours of fierce battle, Mo Fengyun, who was in his beast soul form, finally killed the golden armored heavenly turtle with his powerful attack power. He obtained the heaven fruit that the golden clear dragon bloodlion had guarded for tens of thousands of years and was about to ripen. After obtaining the heaven fruit, Mo Fengyun swallowed it without hesitation and quickly refined it to break through to the Grade 2 Beast Emperor realm. After about a day or so, Mo Fengyun, who had completely absorbed the heaven fruit's spiritual energy, finally accumulated enough energy to break through the bottleneck that had been stuck in him for decades and break through to the Grade 2 Beast Emperor realm. Yi Chunfeng was unaware of all this. He was still working together with the Sword Puppet and the Chaos Divine Beast to attack the Golden Clear Dragon Bloodlion. They were trying their best to kill it and obtain the Aqua Fire Dragon Fruit. Continue asking for Red Envelope's mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 491. Boss, it can't hold on for much longer. The Chaos Divine Beast, who was constantly releasing roars, noticed that the Golden Dragon Bloodlion's attacks were getting weaker and weaker. Overjoyed, it increased the intensity of its attacks and bombarded its heavily injured body. Roar. Second Bloodline Ignition. As its injuries worsened, the Golden Dragon Bloodlion burned its bloodline power for the second time and changed its form. A thin layer of dragon scales covered its entire body, and its injuries were forcibly suppressed by the burning bloodline power. In the face of danger, the highly intelligent Golden Clear Dragon Bloodlion used its final technique to transform and make a last stand. Transformation. This Golden Dragon Bloodlion has the ability to transform. Looking at the dragon scales that covered the Golden Dragon Bloodlion's body, Yi Chunfeng was shocked by the Golden Dragon Bloodlion's ability. Today, all of you will die. After burning its bloodline for the second time, the Golden Dragon Bloodlion transformed into a half-dragon, half-lion form and let out a ferocious roar. Its huge body leaped and pounced at the Chaos Divine Beast, wanting to devour it first. At this critical moment, the Sword Puppet quickly stood in front of the Chaos Divine Beast and used its indestructible body to block the fierce pounce of the Golden Dragon Bloodlion. Heavens merciless! The moment the Sword Puppet used its body to block the fierce attack of the Golden Dragon Bloodlion, 4 runes of Heaven's Way flew out of Yi Chunfeng's body and transformed into Heaven's Might, bombarding the huge body of the Golden Dragon Bloodlion. Boom! The Golden Dragon Bloodlion's huge body trembled, and its dragon scales were shattered by the Heavens Merciless. However, after transforming into a half-dragon, half-lion form, the Golden Dragon Bloodlion's body became extremely strong. Yi Chunfeng's merciless heavenly way could not hurt its body. Roar of Chaos. The Chaos Divine Beast's huge body expanded rapidly, and an earth-shattering roar swept out like rolling waves. Roar! Facing the Heavens' merciless heavenly ways attack head-on, the Golden Dragon Bloodlion also let out a horrifying lion roar. It fluctuated the chaotic air and bombarded the roar of chaos. When the two terrifying sound waves collided, it instantly devoured all the sounds in the space. The strong counterforce formed a tornado in the air and swept across the entire space. 7 Sword of Judgment, Waning Moon. When the entire space was affected by the tornado and fell into chaos, Yi Chunfeng continued to attack. The Heaven Dao pattern, Sword Dao pattern, and Thunder Dao pattern quickly fused and formed a strange crescent moon. It slashed the tornado and continued to attack the Golden Clear Dragon Bloodlion. As time passed, the Jin Qing Dragon Bloodlion's injuries continued to worsen. However, on Yi Chunfeng's face, there was not a trace of joy. Instead, there was a dignified look. This was because he could sense that the Sword Puppet's heavenly crystal was almost depleted and would not be able to hold on for much longer. Once the Sword Puppet lost its ability to fight, it would have a huge impact on the situation. Without the Sword Puppet to block the fierce attacks of the Jin Qing Dragon Bloodlion, Yi Chunfeng did not dare to fight it head-on. What should we do? How do I deal with this golden clear dragon blood lion? Yi Chunfeng frowned as he tried to think of a solution. Roar! At this moment, the Jinqing dragon blood lion, whose bloodline power was completely ignited and had fallen into a frenzy, continued to pounce. Streaks of sharp blood light were like thunder as they bombarded Yi Chunfeng and the others. This Jinqing dragon blood lion is indeed an ancient mutated species. It is so fierce. Yi Chunfeng used the wind riding spell to dodge the blood light spewed out by the Jinqing dragon blood lion. He was shocked by its strength. No, we can't continue fighting like this. Let's try using the Soul Eater's brain. Perhaps the Soul Eater's brain can turn the tide and control this severely injured Jinqing dragon blood lion. After thinking for a while, Yi Chunfeng took out a precious Soul Eater's brain and was ready to use it to control the consciousness of the Jinqing dragon blood lion. The moment Yi Chunfeng took out the Soul Eater's brain, the highly intelligent Jinqing dragon blood lion immediately smelled it. Its ferocious golden eyes were filled with vigilance. It suddenly gave up attacking the sword puppet and dodged to the side. Well, the Jinqing dragon blood lion is afraid of the Soul Eater's brain. Catching a trace of fear in the Jinqing dragon blood lion's eyes, Yi Chunfeng was completely sure that the Soul Eater's brain could control its consciousness. He decisively sped up and approached it. Roar, roar, roar! As Yi Chunfeng approached with the Soul Eater's brain, the Jinqing dragon blood lion immediately let out a terrifying roar and bombarded his body, not giving him a chance to get close to it. Sword puppet, divine beast of chaos, control it for me. Yi Chunfeng, whose body was comparable to an upper-grade celestial item, endured the roar of the Jinqing dragon blood lion, and his blood was boiling. He immediately ordered the sword puppet and the divine beast of chaos. Okay. Receiving Yi Chunfeng's order, the sword puppet immediately turned into a beam of sword light, tore apart the terrifying roar, and quickly forced the Jinqing dragon blood lion to retreat. When the sword puppet turned into a beam of sword light and clashed with the Jinqing dragon blood lion's lion claws, it suddenly sped up, stretched out its powerful arms, and directly hugged the Jinqing dragon blood lion's huge lion head, and violently strangled its neck. The next moment, the divine beast of chaos appeared on top of the Jinqing dragon blood lion's head, and heavily pressed down on the Jinqing dragon blood lion's severely injured body, temporarily restricting its movements. Roar, roar! The Jinqing dragon blood lion's head was strangled and its body was oppressed, which infuriated it. Just as it roared furiously and burst out a shocking power to shake off the sword puppet and the divine beast of chaos, a beam of blood-red light pierced through the space and flew toward it at an extremely fast speed. Taking advantage of the situation, Yi Chunfeng shot the Soul Eater's brain into the Jinqing dragon blood lion's bloody mouth. Roar, roar! Feeling that the Soul Eater's brain was beginning to erode its consciousness, the Jinqing dragon blood lion's face was filled with fear, and it kept roaring in pain. All right, come back all of you. Feeling that the Soul Eater's brain had successfully eroded the Jinqing dragon blood lion's brain, Yi Chunfeng immediately called back the sword puppet, whose energy was almost depleted, and the divine beast of chaos, whose soul power was severely depleted. They hid in the distance and waited patiently. The Jinqing dragon blood lion was in pain, rolling and struggling on the ground, and the ground was destroyed beyond recognition. Its painful roars shook the heavens and the earth. Although the Jinqing dragon blood lion tried its best to resist, it was severely injured and could not resist the Soul Eater's brain. Slowly, the Soul Eater's brain completely eroded its brain and took control of its consciousness. It's done. Feeling that the Soul Eater's brain in the Jinqing dragon blood lion's brain had established a connection with the God Eater's brain, Yi Chunfeng heaved a sigh of relief, and a faint smile appeared on his face. After subduing the Jinqing dragon blood lion, Yi Chunfeng had greater control over his power. He was now confident that he could face Mo Fengyun head-on. However, He did not know that Mo Fengyun had already entered this dilapidated cave dwelling and had also obtained a great opportunity. He had broken through to the rank 2 combat beast emperor realm, and his strength had reached an extremely terrifying level. Huff, there are finally no more obstacles. I can dig for the water fire dragon fruit now. Yi Chunfeng heaved a sigh of relief and drank a mouthful of the water of heavenly fate to recover his exhausted soul power. After that, he controlled the Tao pattern of life to heal his injuries while cautiously approaching the blue and red water fire dragon fruit tree that was more than 10 meters tall. He wanted to forcefully dig out the water fire dragon fruit that was even more precious than the heavenly lotus. For mobile users, please visit /mph. Remember the website. Sanwa Chinese Network. Chapter 492. Ruler Weapon Break. Walking to the bottom of the water dragon fruit tree, Yi Chunfeng's powerful soul spirit locked onto the water dragon fruit tree that had been nurtured for more than 100,000 years. He held the ruler weapon that was infused with 3 Tao intents and stabbed at the tree. However, when he stabbed with all his might, he only managed to scratch the hard bark and did not manage to pierce into the tree. So hard. Why is the bark of this water dragon fruit tree so hard? Feeling the rebounding force from the ruler weapon, Yi Chunfeng opened his eyes wide and revealed a shocked expression. After being attacked, the water dragon fruit tree that had already developed spirituality awoke a terrifying force and suddenly launched an attack at Yi Chunfeng. The luxuriant tree crown shook violently and formed streams of water and fire energy that swept towards Yi Chunfeng like a hurricane. However, Yi Chunfeng was already prepared. When the water and fire energy swept towards him, he decisively executed the wind riding technique and turned into a wind shadow. He flew back at an extremely fast speed and dodged the attack of the water dragon fruit tree. Boss, try using the Chaos Divine Wood. It should be able to restrain this water dragon fruit tree. Sensing the power of the water dragon fruit tree's attack, the weakened Chaos Divine Beast transmitted a message. Yi Chunfeng nodded. With a thought, he summoned the Chaos Divine Wood that had 16 5-colored divine leaves and controlled it to fly towards the water dragon fruit tree. Compared to the water dragon fruit tree that was more than 10 meters tall and would require 4 people to wrap their arms around it, the Chaos Divine Wood could only be described as tiny. However, when the water dragon fruit tree that had developed spirituality sensed the Chaos Divine Wood, it instinctively felt fear. At this moment, the Chaos Divine Wood formed tens of thousands of 5-colored roots and broke through the tough bark of the water dragon fruit tree like a hot knife through butter. The roots drilled into the tree body and crazily devoured the pure energy contained within. After being devoured by the Chaos Divine Wood, the water dragon fruit tree's huge tree crown shook even more violently. It formed waves of powerful water and fire energy that ferociously attacked the Chaos Divine Wood, wanting to shatter it. However, the Chaos Divine Wood was one of the strongest divine woods in the universe. Even if it was just a sapling, it was not something the Aqua Dragon fruit tree could destroy. As time passed, the Chaos Divine Wood, which was in the middle of the fire and water storm, was not affected at all. It controlled the 5-colored roots to devour and absorb everything. Slowly, the leaves of the water dragon fruit, which had lost a large amount of spiritual energy, began to wither. The huge tree branches began to break, and the vitality of the tree rapidly drained away. The Chaos Divine Wood, which had devoured a large amount of spiritual energy, grew 5 new 5-colored divine leaves. The Chaos seedlings also grew taller and taller, successfully nurturing 5 strands of chaos energy. In addition to the 2 strands of chaotic force that he had nurtured earlier, Yi Chunfeng had grasped yet another killer move. Kacha, when the Chaos Divine Wood absorbed all of the Aqua Dragon fruit tree's spiritual energy, the huge tree broke apart, revealing the Aqua Dragon fruit in the middle of the tree trunk. It was like a heart beating slowly, and its veins were like dragons. It was red and blue. Formation runes seal. Yi Qinfeng's hands moved quickly and formed a complicated formation rune. He sealed the beating aqua dragon fruit and kept it in his yin and yang ring. Dragon Bloodlion, I have something to ask you. After obtaining the water dragon fruit, Yi Qinfeng summoned the constantly transforming chaos divine wood and went to the golden dragon Bloodlion, who was lying on the ground and recuperating. He asked softly, "Master, what do you want to know?" The golden dragon Bloodlion could not resist Yi Qinfeng's thoughts as its consciousness was controlled by the soul devourer's brain. It asked obediently, "Who exactly is this cave dwelling? Why did the ethereal wonderland appear in the Duhan continent?" Yi Qinfeng asked, wanting to obtain some important information from the golden dragon Bloodlion. "I am not too sure what the ethereal wonderland is," the golden dragon Bloodlion said doubtfully. "I only know that my master was pursued by a very terrifying god-fiend in the heaven domain. He crossed an extremely vast domain before appearing here. I am one of the contracted beasts that my master captured. Now that my master is dead, I have regained my freedom." God-fiend. After hearing Jin Qing Dragon Bloodlion's explanation, Yi Qinfeng sucked in a deep breath and revealed a look of shock. He had never imagined that this cave dwelling would be related to a terrifying god-fiend. Even the chaos divine beast was terrified. It clearly knew about god-fiends and how terrifying they were. According to the soul devourer's memories, god-fiends could be said to be the most mysterious race in the universe. They were born with boundless strength and terrifying physical bodies. Not only did they have powerful divine abilities and inherited memories, but they also had a bloodline comparable to divine beasts. A young god-fiend could sweep through some of the heaven domain's major powers. As for a mature god-fiend, they could shake the heavens and destroy stars. They were the most terrifying existences in the heaven domain. "Dragon Bloodlion, do you know where the god-fiend that killed your master went? Why is that god-fiend chasing after him?" asked Yi Qinfeng. "That god-fiend should be in the cave dwelling." The golden dragon Bloodlion said, "As for why he is chasing after my master, I don't know." "What do you mean he's also here? Then is he dead?" Yi Qinfeng sucked in a breath of cold air. Although Yi Qinfeng's strength and foundation were heaven-defying, he knew he was far from being a match for a god-fiend. It could be said that a god-fiend only needed to extend a finger to crush him. He should be dead. Although Master's strength isn't as great as that god-fiend, it's not far off. If Master were to go all out, that god-fiend would have no chance of surviving. Furthermore, he hasn't appeared in over 100,000 years. "That's enough to prove that he's dead," said the golden dragon Bloodlion. "It's good that he's dead." Yi Qinfeng let out a breath of relief. If that god-fiend wasn't dead, then even if he was 100 times more courageous, he wouldn't dare to go any deeper. "Dragon Bloodlion, I still have 2 questions for you. What kind of expert is your master in the heaven domain? Is the most precious opportunity here the heavenly Tao inheritance?" continued Yi Qinfeng. "My master is called Yi Tianjun. He's a rogue cultivator in the heaven domain who has reached the Tao Emperor realm. As for the heavenly Tao inheritance, I don't know because I've been guarding this water fire dragon fruit tree all these years. However, the most precious opportunity here should be the Godfiend's cave." The golden dragon Bloodlion shook his head. "Godfiend's cave?" Hearing that, Yi Qinfeng's eyes lit up. He revealed a trace of excitement. "You're saying that the Godfiend's cave is here?" "Yes. Back then, that Godfiend forcefully controlled his cave and destroyed Master's cave. That's why Master's cave fell here. After so many years, other than you, no one else has come here. So the Godfiend's cave should be somewhere in Master's cave. However, that Godfiend's strength is terrifying. It won't be easy to obtain his cave. And Master, you're a bit weak. Even if we help you, the chances of obtaining the Godfiend's cave are less than 1 in 10,000. Sensing that Yi Qinfeng was a second-rank reverse beast king, the golden dragon Bloodlion didn't think that he could obtain the cave. "How would I know if I don't try?" Yi Chunfeng knew that inheriting the Godfiend's cave was dangerous. If he wasn't careful, he might be consigned to eternal damnation. However, the temptation of the Godfiend's cave was too great. He couldn't give it up. Therefore, Yi Chunfeng, who had an unyielding heart, decided to take the risk. Alright, everyone quickly recuperate and recover. We will continue to go deeper and search for the Godfiend's cave. Yi Chunfeng threw a few heaven-class soul elixirs to the golden dragon bloodlion and sat cross-legged on the ground. He controlled the life Tao pattern to recover his injuries. After around a day, Yi Chunfeng and the golden dragon bloodlion had recovered from their injuries and were in peak condition. Dragon bloodlion, bring me to the depths of this cave. Yi Chunfeng leaped and rode on the golden dragon bloodlion's broad back. He rode him to the depths of the cave that contained great opportunities and great dangers. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the save button at the bottom to record this reading. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 493. Master, if I remember correctly, the space in front is sealed with a 10,000-year-old blood bamboo that old Master spent a great deal of effort to dig up. The one guarding it should be a violent earth bear. The Jinqing dragon bloodlion was very familiar with the layout of the dilapidated abode. It led Yi Chunfeng all the way to a hidden restriction. Yi Chunfeng frowned and asked, "How strong is that violent earth bear?" "Don't worry, Master. I have a good relationship with the violent earth bear. With me here, it won't harm you," said Jinqing dragon bloodlion. "That's good." Yi Chunfeng nodded and summoned the Space Devourer. He ordered it to devour the Heaven Domain restriction. When the Space Devourer bitterly bit a huge hole in the powerful Heaven Domain restriction and helped Yi Chunfeng enter, he found that the space inside had already been destroyed. The terrifying violent earth bear had turned into a white skeleton. The 10,000-year-old blood bamboo that was rumored to be able to increase bloodline power had already turned to dust. "Let's go, Master. I'll bring you to the other sealed spaces." Jinqing dragon bloodlion looked sorrowfully at the violent earth bear's skeleton and brought Yi Chunfeng to the other sealed spaces to search for the Heaven Domain's spiritual items. But the cave had been heavily damaged and had fallen into the ethereal immortal realm. Most of the sealed spaces had been destroyed. After searching for several hours, Yi Chunfeng found nothing. Just as Yi Chunfeng was feeling regretful, he rode on the golden clear dragon bloodlion and sped through the dilapidated cave. They arrived at a dilapidated space. "Dragon bloodlion, what kind of space is this?" Yi Chunfeng asked the Jinqing dragon bloodlion with a grave expression as he looked at the spiderweb-like space filled with cracks. "This space is the core space of the cave. Back then, the Fiend God's cave passed through here and caused the Old Master's cave to fall here," said Jinqing dragon bloodlion. "Then the Fiend God's cave might be in this broken space?" asked Yi Chunfeng. "Yes, if I'm not mistaken, the cave of gods and demons is here. However, Master, do you really want to take the risk to inherit the cave of gods and demons? With your strength, the success rate is too low." The golden dragon bloodlion reminded him seriously. "I've already made up my mind. There's no need to persuade me. Let's go." Yi Chunfeng spoke fearlessly. His unyielding and unswerving determination radiated from his bones. "All right." The Jinqing dragon bloodlion sighed helplessly, dispelling the trace of fear in its heart. With a leap, it flew into the broken space that was full of crisscrossing cracks, as if it could shatter at any time. Yes, the power of runes. How could there be runes in this broken space? As the Jinqing dragon bloodlion flew through the broken space, the soul power radiated by the God-Eater brain detected the power of the formation patterns in the spatial cracks. "Wait, stop." Yi Chunfeng sensed that there was another mystery in this broken space. He immediately stopped the Jinqing dragon bloodlion and slowly closed his eyes. He controlled the God-Eater brain to quickly deduce and sense the changes in the formation pattern. A killing formation. These runes actually form a killing formation. Yi Qinfeng rode on the Jinqing dragon blood lion and controlled the God-Eater brain to quickly deduce for over an hour. He saw through the mystery and discovered that the formation patterns hidden in the spatial cracks formed a terrifying killing formation. Once someone entered it by mistake, the killing formation would be activated and they would be attacked. Dragon Bloodlion, fly according to the route I told you. Remember, don't fly randomly. Yi Qinfeng transmitted the route the God-Eater brain had deduced into the Jinqing Dragon Bloodlion's mind and solemnly warned it. Yes, Master. The golden-clear Dragon Bloodlion nodded. Its huge lion head followed the route in its mind, and its huge body moved through the broken space at high speed. As it flew, Yi Qinfeng suddenly discovered that there was a half-meter-tall plant in front of him. Its entire body was golden, and its leaves were like weeping willows. It emitted a strange black light and was rooted in the spatial crack. 9 Nether Golden Orchid. I didn't expect that after so many years, this 9 Nether Golden Orchid actually survived. Looking at the golden plant emitting a black light in front of him, the Jinqing Dragon Blood Lion recognized its origin and opened its mouth wide. Dragon Blood Lion, how valuable is this 9 Nether Golden Orchid? Yi Qinfeng asked. Although the value of this 9 Nether Golden Orchid is not as valuable as the Water Fire Dragon Fruit that I guard, it is still a valuable spiritual item in the Heaven Domain. More importantly, the 9 Nether Golden Orchid contains the Tao of Darkness. If consumed, there is a high chance of comprehending the Tao of Darkness. The Jinqing Dragon Blood Lion told Yi Qinfeng everything it knew about the 9 Nether Golden Orchid. Tao of Darkness. Yi Qinfeng had already experienced the strength of the Tao inside of darkness when he fought with Frosty Ice Mountain and Mo Fengyun. When he found out that the 9 Nether Golden Orchid before him contained the Tao inside of darkness, Yi Qinfeng's eyes immediately burned with desire. He rode on the gold-clear Dragon Blood Lion and quickly approached. Swish! Suddenly, an ear-piercing sound rang out, and a spear light that was several times faster than the speed of light tore through the broken space. It was like a black flood dragon, baring its fangs and claws as it pierced towards Yi Qinfeng's body. Not good, it's Mo Fengyun. He actually chased me all the way here. Facing the sudden attack, Yi Qinfeng rode on the Jinqing Dragon Blood Lion and immediately dodged. He quickly approached the 9 Nether Golden Orchid, wanting to forcefully pluck it. Kacha! The moment Yi Qinfeng forcefully approached the 9 Nether Golden Orchid, a strange spatial crack appeared, like a huge mouth that swallowed everything. It blocked in front of Yi Qinfeng, blocking his path. Kid, I realized that I have underestimated your skills. You actually managed to subdue a level 7 heavenly beast here. However, in this place, you will not be able to escape even if you have wings. Obediently accept your death. Mo Fengyun glared at Yi Qinfeng and the Jinqing Dragon Blood Lion fiercely. With a shout, he used the Shadow Dao intent, creating numerous afterimages, deceiving the attacking runes that were attacking him and launching a fierce attack towards Yi Qinfeng. Level 2 Combat Beast Emperor. Feeling the terrifying aura from Mo Fengyun, Yi Qinfeng's face changed. He did not expect that Mo Fengyun would not only chase him all the way here, but also break through to the Level 2 Combat Beast Emperor realm. He rode on the Jinqing Dragon Blood Lion and quickly dodged. 10,000 Transformations Black Lotus. The moment Yi Qinfeng rode on the Jinqing Dragon Blood Lion and dodged, a large amount of demonic qi surged out from Mo Fengyun's body. It gathered into a slowly blooming black lotus and shot towards Yi Qinfeng like a meteor. As the 10,000 Transformations Black Lotus attacked, Heavenly Dao runes, Sword Dao runes, and Lightning Dao runes surged out from his body and fused into his king weapon, increasing its strongest attack power. Judgment 7 Swords Eclipse. A scarlet light sword that was like the scorching sun carried an unstoppable sword might. It was like the sea was overturning the heaven and earth. It tore apart the fragile space and ruthlessly slashed at the 10,000 transformations Black Lotus. The moment the eclipse sword slashed at the 10,000 transformations Black Lotus, the Jinqing dragon bloodlion, who sensed danger, also activated its golden lion bloodline and released a large amount of bloodlight to attack. Boom! The violent explosion caused the space to shake. A pitch-black energy surged out in all directions like a tide, trying to engulf Yi Chunfeng and the Jinqing dragon bloodlion. Dodge! At the crucial moment, the Jinqing dragon bloodlion activated its fastest speed. Its huge body quickly moved in the chaotic space, distancing itself from the center of the explosion. However, the energy released by the 10,000 transformations Black Lotus was too terrifying. Yi Chunfeng and the Jinqing dragon bloodlion were still injured. So powerful! This Mo Fengyun's strength has increased by so much after breaking through to rank 2 combat Beast Emperor. Yi Chunfeng, who had broken through to rank 2 reverse Beast Emperor, originally thought that he could rely on his strength to fight against Mo Fengyun. However, after a short exchange, he discovered that Mo Fengyun, who had broken through, had reached a level that he could not contend against. Dragon Bloodlion, give up on the 9 Nether Golden Orchid. Let's run. Helpless, Yi Chunfeng gave up on the precious 9 Nether Golden Orchid and rode the Jinqing Dragon Bloodlion to escape into the depths of the broken space. Mobile reading site, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 494. Kid, you will definitely die today. When Mo Fengyun saw Yi Chunfeng riding on the golden clear dragon bloodlion, he quickly approached the 9 Nether Golden Orchid. He wanted to forcefully pluck this heaven domain spiritual item and chase after Yi Chunfeng. After more than 100,000 years of nurturing, the 9 Nether Golden Orchid had developed an extremely high spiritual intelligence. Under its control, strange spatial cracks appeared around it, releasing an endless amount of destructive energy, preventing Mo Fengyun from getting closer. Hand of Shadows. Obstructed by the bizarre spatial rifts, Mo Fengyun did not hesitate to fuse his Dao intent of darkness and Dao intent of shadow together to form a shadow hand. It withstood the destructive force released by the spatial rifts and grabbed the struggling 9 Nether Golden Orchid. Retrieve. After successfully grabbing the 9 Darkness Golden Orchid, Mo Fengyun seized the moment when the dark hand was torn apart by the spatial tear and quickly pulled the 9 Darkness Golden Orchid out of the spatial tear. He quickly put it into his universe ring and chased after Yi Chunfeng at full speed. After breaking through to the rank 2 combat Beast Emperor realm, Mo Fengyun's flying speed had increased tremendously. He was now much faster than the golden clear dragon bloodlion. However, his attainment in array formation was not deep enough. He did not see through the hidden array formation in the broken space. In the process of chasing after Yi Chunfeng, he was constantly bombarded by terrifying array formation runes. Coupled with the spatial cracks that appeared from time to time, his flying speed was greatly reduced. Even so, he still used his astonishing speed to slowly close the distance between him and Yi Chunfeng. Black Wheel of Death. After withstanding the attacks of the array formation runes, Mo Fengyun immediately made his move. Dozens of black wheels of death shot out from his body. With ear-piercing sounds, they attacked Yi Chunfeng and the golden clear dragon bloodlion at a speed faster than light. Roar of primordial chaos. When the black wheels of death came, the divine beast of primordial chaos immediately let out a roar like a tsunami. Like rolling waves, it bombarded the black wheels of death formed by the Tao of darkness. After being attacked by the roar of primordial chaos, cracks appeared on the dozens of black wheels of death. Their attacking speed was slightly reduced. However, in the blink of an eye, The black wheels of death tore apart the roar of primordial chaos and continued to attack Yi Qinfeng. Wrath of God's punishment. At the critical moment, the extreme ancient heavenly lightning, black flame heavenly fire, and extreme ancient heavenly water gushed out of Yi Qinfeng's body, fusing together to form the power of divine retribution. The Jinqing dragon bloodlion continued to burn its golden lion bloodline and spat out a large amount of blood-red light to attack. Kachacha Mo Fengyun channeled the Tao of darkness and formed dozens of black wheels of death. However, Mo Fengyun took advantage of the opportunity when Yi Qinfeng and the others were defending with all their might to intercept them. "Let's see where you can run to this time," Mo Fengyun said with a murderous intent as he pointed the tip of his spear at Yi Qinfeng, holding a supreme-grade heavenly artifact spear in his hand. "Master, let's fight it out with him. I don't believe that we can't kill him with our combined strength." The Jinqing dragon blood lion glared at Mo Fengyun, who was full of killing intent, and growled. "All right, let's attack together." Unable to dodge, Yi Qinfeng ignited his dragon bloodline without hesitation, forming 5 killing halos, instantly increasing his strength and attacking Mo Fengyun with all his might. Flying Celestial Sword. A dazzling light sword shot out. It was a sovereign weapon, mixed with the Tao of Heaven, Tao of Sword, Tao of Thunder, and Tao of Fire. It was as if it was going to split open the heavens as it slashed towards Mo Fengyun. At that moment, the power of the flying celestial sword was invincible, causing Mo Fengyun's eyes to narrow. Roar! The moment Yi Qinfeng launched his all-out attack, the Chaos Divine Beast and Jinqing Dragon Blood Lion both released powerful roars, bombarding Mo Fengyun's body and soul, weakening his physical defenses. Yi Qinfeng's combined attack of the two heavenly beasts was extremely terrifying, and it could even kill a Grade 1 combat beast emperor. However, Mo Fengyun's strength was not what it used to be, and he also had a supreme grade heaven artifact. His attack power had reached an extremely terrifying level. Break! Mo Fengyun roared and stabbed out with his black spear. As the spear stabbed out, the two Tao intents instantly condensed. The space where the spear light passed through lost all color, as if all the light in the world was swallowed by this spear. Qi! The powerful sound waves released by the Chaos Divine Beast and Jinqing Dragon Blood Lion were torn apart by Mo Fengyun's spear. Immediately after, the flying celestial sword clashed with the extremely sharp black spear, but it was still pierced through without any suspense. After destroying Yi Qinfeng's and the two heavenly beasts' attacks, Mo Fengyun continued his attack, wanting to pierce through Yi Qinfeng's body with his spear. Sword Puppet Defend. At the critical moment, Yi Qinfeng summoned the Sword Puppet, using its indestructible body to block Mo Fengyun's sure-kill attack. Vermilion Bird Cauldron. Mo Fengyun's world-shaking attack was neutralized by the Sword Puppet, and Yi Qinfeng immediately summoned the Pseudo-Dao Treasure Vermilion Bird Cauldron, attacking him at close range. After refining 1/3 of the Tao treasure fragments, the Vermilion Bird Cauldron's power increased by several folds, and its terrifying impact posed a great threat to Mo Fengyun. Great Demon Slaying Dragon Blade. Feeling the destructive power of the Vermilion Bird Cauldron, Mo Fengyun's heavenly blood demonic saber appeared in his hand. In an instant, he slashed out a demonic dragon-like saber light, ruthlessly slashing at the Vermilion Bird Cauldron. Screech! An ear-piercing bird's cry rang out, and the Vermilion Bird Cauldron was attacked by Mo Fengyun's demon-slaying dragon blade. It released endless flames, destroying the demonic dragon-like saber light bit by bit. Mo Fengyun, I want to see who's going to die today. Looking at Mo Fengyun, who was filled with demonic aura, Yi Qinfeng shouted, 7 streaks of primal chaos energy, kill. As he spoke, Yi Qinfeng shot out 7 streaks of primal chaos energy from the primal chaos divine wood at all costs, attacking Mo Fengyun. As the 7 streaks of primal chaos energy attacked, Mo Fengyun's sharp senses immediately sensed the threat of death, and he instinctively wanted to dodge. However, the speed of the primal chaos energy was too fast, and he was too close to Yi Qinfeng. There was no way for him to dodge, and he could only focus on defending. PFFF, PFFF, PFFF. The 7 streaks of primal chaos energy blended together and broke through Mo Fengyun's defense and heavenly armor like a hot knife through butter, piercing through his body. Large amounts of blood uncontrollably spurted out from his body. Die! After shooting out 7 streaks of primal chaos energy and severely injuring Mo Fengyun, Yi Qinfeng ignored the injuries on his body and forcefully condensed 5 streaks of heavenly Tao inscriptions to attack Mo Fengyun's heavily injured body. The primal chaos divine beast, Jinqing Dragon Bloodlion, also unleashed its strongest attack, wanting to kill Mo Fengyun while he was heavily injured. Golden Tortoise Shell defend. At the critical moment, Mo Fengyun took out an extremely tough golden tortoise shell and used it to block in front of him, blocking the killing blow from Yi Qinfeng and the 2 heavenly beasts. Master, if I'm not wrong, the golden tortoise shell in that person's hand should be the tortoise shell of the golden tortoise that old master subdued back then. Its toughness is comparable to a supreme-grade heavenly artifact, Jinqing Dragon Bloodlion said. A supreme-grade heavenly artifact tortoise shell. After learning about the defensive power of the golden tortoise shell in Mo Fengyun's hand, Yi Qinfeng, who had forcefully condensed 5 streaks of heavenly Tao inscriptions and injured his body, knew that with this treasure protecting him, it was almost impossible for him to kill Mo Fengyun. Dragon Bloodlion, break through with all your might. Furthermore, the sword puppet's energy was almost depleted, so Yi Qinfeng had no choice but to give up on killing Mo Fengyun. He kept the sword puppet and leaped onto Jinqing Dragon Bloodlion, riding it to escape into the depths of the broken space. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 495. Dragon Bloodlion, continue to move according to the route I fused into your mind. While Jinqing Dragon Bloodlion was flying at full speed, the god-devouring brain's calculation speed had reached the limit. It quickly deduced a safe route and fused it into the Jinqing Dragon Bloodlion's mind. Seeing Yi Qinfeng fly further and further away on Jinqing Dragon Bloodlion, Mo Fengyun, who was seriously injured, did not immediately chase after him. He quickly took 2 precious heaven-level soul elixirs to forcibly suppress his injuries and heal his body that was pierced by the 7 chaotic force. After about half an hour, Mo Fengyun, whose face was pale and whose eyes were filled with ferocity, spat out a mouthful of foul air. Ignoring his injuries, he continued to chase after Yi Qinfeng at full speed in the broken space. After seeing Yi Qinfeng's endless means, Mo Fengyun was determined to kill him. Otherwise, once Yi Qinfeng grew up, it would be a nightmare for him. However, the destructive power of the primal chaos energy was extremely strong. It had damaged his heart meridian. In addition, the attack patterns that kept falling down greatly affected his flying speed. Gradually, he was left far behind by the golden-clear Dragon Bloodlion and lost track of Yi Qinfeng. Dragon Bloodlion, go to the northwest. After shaking off Mo Fengyun's pursuit, Yi Qinfeng's soul power found a hidden restriction in the northwest. He immediately thought of something and informed Jinqing Dragon Bloodlion. Soon, Jinqing Dragon Bloodlion, who was moving like a snake, avoided the attacking patterns and came to the northwest. Space-swallowing bug, it's up to you. Use your fastest speed to devour a gap. Looking at the hidden restriction in front of him, Yi Qinfeng immediately summoned the space-swallowing bug and urged. Under the space-swallowing bug's relentless devouring, a gap half the height of a person appeared in this hidden restriction. Yi Qinfeng and Jinqing Dragon Bloodlion, who was constantly shrinking in size, passed through the gap and disappeared into the broken space. Phew, that Mo Fengyun is not proficient in formations. Even if he found this place, he shouldn't be able to enter. After successfully entering this deeply hidden mysterious space, Yi Chunfeng let out a long sigh of relief and muttered to himself, "That skeleton is the remains of the old master." Just as Yi Chunfeng threw a heaven-class soul elixir into his mouth and controlled the life Tao pattern to repair his body that was shattered by the heavenly Tao, the Jinqing dragon blood lion widened its bell-sized eyes. It looked at a 5-meter-tall white skeleton under a rock that looked simple and unadorned, but it had the prowess to support the heavens. It revealed an agitated and sorrowful expression as it quickly ran over. "So this is the burial place of the supreme expert of the heavenly domain." Yi Chunfeng also followed Jinqing dragon blood lion to Yi Tianjuan's court. Although Yi Tianjun had already turned into a skeleton, the will of Tao and the heavenly Tao in his bones still made Yi Chunfeng's heart tremble. He wanted to worship him. "Master, let's bury the old master's body," the golden dragon blood lion said with a sorrowful expression. "All right." Yi Chunfeng nodded and took out the titanic fault heavenly sword. He then dug a hole next to Yi Tianjuan's remains. Universe ring. Just as Yi Chunfeng bowed 3 times to Yi Tianjuan's skeleton and prepared to bury it, he unexpectedly discovered a universe ring the size of a sesame seed in his chest. It was covered in cracks and was severely damaged. Relics, Yi Tianjuan's relics. Yi Chunfeng's eyes lit up. He immediately put away the valuable universe ring that might contain Yi Tianjuan's relic. After he buried Yi Tianjuan's remains, Yi Chunfeng immediately controlled the power of the God-Eater brain to penetrate into the broken universe ring. He then forcibly broke the restrictions in the ring and checked Yi Tianjuan's relic. "Sigh, this universe ring is severely damaged. Almost everything inside is destroyed." When Yi Chunfeng's soul seeped in, he regretfully discovered that apart from a plain and ordinary-looking jade strip, he didn't find anything else of value. What does this jade slip contain? Although the jade slip in his hand was unremarkable, Yi Chunfeng had a feeling that it was not simple. Otherwise, it would not be the only thing that Yi Tianjun had left behind. Kunwu's secret realm map. When Yi Chunfeng released his soul power into the jade slip, he found that the jade slip contained a very detailed map drawn with soul strand. Divine artifact Kunwu sword. This jade slip is actually related to a divine artifact. When Yi Chunfeng skimmed through the jade strip, he was disappointed by the last line. His eyes widened, revealing a look of shock. With the God-Eater brain, Yi Chunfeng had a better understanding of the weapon grades in the heaven domain. The most common weapons in the heaven domain were heaven artifacts. Above heaven artifacts were Tao artifacts, above Tao artifacts were saint artifacts, above saint artifacts were true spirit saint artifacts, and above true spirit saint artifacts were divine artifacts. It could be said that divine artifacts were the highest grade treasures in the heaven domain. Once they appeared, it was enough to cause a storm of blood in the heaven domain. Maybe this jade slip is related to Yi Tianjun being hunted down by demons. Yi Chunfeng muttered to himself. He could vaguely guess the reason why Yi Tianjun was hunted down by demons. Dragon Blood Lion, do you know where the Kunwu's secret realm is? Yi Chunfeng controlled the God-Eater brain to forcibly imprint the map of the Kunwu's secret realm. He put the jade slip into his universe ring and asked Jinqing Dragon Blood Lion. "I don't know, I have never heard of this place." Jinqing Dragon Blood Lion shook his head. "Hundun, what about you? Have you heard of the Kunwu's secret realm?" Yi Chunfeng asked the Chaos Divine Beast, who was also from the Heaven Domain. "Boss, the Heaven Domain is too big, and there are too many secret realms. I have always lived in the demon world, so my knowledge of the outside world is limited. I have never heard of the Kunwu's secret realm." The Chaos Divine Beast said, "I will slowly search for the Kunwu's secret realm when I have the chance to ascend to the Heaven Domain." Thinking that his ascension to the Heaven Domain wasn't done in a day, Yi Chunfeng didn't think too much about the map of the Kunwu's secret realm. He sat cross-legged on the ground and quickly healed his injuries and recovered his exhausted soul power. About 6 hours later, Yi Chunfeng completely recovered from his injuries and exhausted soul power with the help of the Life Tao pattern. However, he didn't leave. Instead, he stood under the 5-meter-tall boulder that was emitting an extraordinary aura and controlled the God-Eater brain's energy to forcefully penetrate it. Yi Chunfeng was interested in this boulder because when he controlled the Life Tao pattern to heal his injuries, the God-Eater brain radiated a trace of the Heavenly Tao's energy from the boulder. He had a feeling that this boulder might be related to the Heavenly Tao's inheritance in the ethereal immortal realm. Buzz, buzz. When the God-Eater brain's energy forcefully penetrated the boulder, a boundless energy surged out from the boulder and shattered the hard surface, revealing a sparkling and translucent stone tablet. Yi Chunfeng could clearly feel the Heavenly Tao's energy from the stone tablet. As expected, this boulder contains the Heavenly Tao's inheritance. Looking at the stone tablet that contained the Heavenly Tao's intent realm, Yi Chunfeng revealed a faint smile. This Heavenly Tao stone tablet was probably moved here by Yi Tianjuan's great ability. He wanted to borrow the Heavenly Tao's energy to prolong his life. I just don't know how many Heavenly Tao patterns are in this stone tablet. God-Eater brain, comprehend the Heavenly Tao. Yi Chunfeng adjusted his state and sat cross-legged under the Heavenly Tao stone tablet. He controlled the God-Eater brain's energy to forcefully penetrate the stone tablet and comprehend the Heavenly Tao's intent realm. Suddenly, the Heavenly Tao stone tablet shattered without any warning. It formed a vast and vigorous Heavenly Tao cloud that enveloped Yi Chunfeng and engulfed him. He directly accepted the test of the Heavenly Tao's intent realm. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Collect button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 496. One Mark of Heavenly Tao. Yi Chunfeng, who was in the Heavenly Tao cloud, quickly deduced. However, he only managed to comprehend one Heavenly Tao pattern in the Heavenly Tao cloud. He revealed a disappointed expression. Sigh, it seems like Senior Yi Tianjun must have comprehended the other marks of Heavenly Tao in the Heavenly Tao stone engraving when he was alive. He only left the last one for the faded one. Yi Chunfeng sighed softly in his heart and guessed. However, Yi Chunfeng had already comprehended 9 marks of Heavenly Tao. If he could comprehend one more mark of Heavenly Tao, he would be able to comprehend the Heavenly Tao to the first heavenly layer. At that time, when his physical body evolved further, he would be able to condense 10 marks of Heavenly Tao at the same time. He would be able to raise the power of the ruthless Heavenly Tao to an extremely terrifying level. After clearing away the distracting thoughts in his mind, Yi Chunfeng controlled the God-Eater brain to quickly deduce and comprehend the mark of Heavenly Tao in the cloud of Heavenly Tao. As he had already comprehended 9 marks of Heavenly Tao, he had a deeper understanding of the Heavenly Tao. Soon, a faint mark of Heavenly Tao appeared in the God-Eater brain. Just as Yi Chunfeng was trying his best to comprehend the mark of Heavenly Tao, Mo Fengyun, who was flying rapidly in the broken space to search for Yi Chunfeng, was in big trouble. As he kept triggering the restrictions of the formation, the offensive formation hidden in the broken space was completely activated. Streaks of formation runes fell from the sky like thunderbolts from the 9 heavens. They carried astonishing destructive power and bombarded his body. Damn it, why am I being attacked by the formation runes, but they aren't attacking that brat? Mo Fengyun, who was holding the golden tortoise shell and defending with all his strength, cursed in his heart. Boom! Just as Mo Fengyun was struggling to move forward under the immense pressure, he suddenly felt that the space in front of him had collapsed. A vast chi of heavens might spread out through the cracks in the space. What's happening in front? Why is there chi of heaven's might? Mo Fengyun's eyes lit up as he defended against the attacking runes. He quickly approached the space that had suddenly collapsed and cracked. It's him. Why is he in this collapsed space? Through the cracks in space, Mo Fengyun looked as if he had seen a ghost. He couldn't believe that Yi Chunfeng was in the middle of a collapsed space and seemed to be comprehending the power of heaven's might. Although Mo Fengyun did not know what the power of heaven's wrath was, he would not allow Yi Chunfeng to snatch away the great opportunity that should have belonged to him. The shadow of the golden-eyed fiendish python appeared on his body, and a terrifying demonic chi surged wildly into the supreme-grade heaven weapon long spear. Break! Mo Fengyun bellowed as he stabbed the space crack with his spear, trying to enter the collapsed space to kill Yi Chunfeng. Mo Fengyun, he found this place. When Mo Fengyun attacked the spatial crack with all his might, Yi Chunfeng, who had just engraved the heavenly Tao rune into God Eater's brain, sensed it and revealed a grave expression. Space Devourer, devour space. The sword puppet was about to be exhausted, and Yi Chunfeng did not dare to face Mo Fengyun head-on. He immediately summoned the gold devourer bug and ordered it to devour the spatial crack. Crack! Mo Fengyun, who was filled with demonic chi, stabbed out hundreds of times and finally pierced through the spatial crack. His body flashed and entered the collapsed space. Little bastard, I will kill you! Mo Fengyun felt the power of heaven's wrath in the heavenly Tao cloud was fading rapidly. He roared furiously and charged over with his black spear. At this moment, the space devourer bug, who was trying its best to devour the spatial crack, only managed to bite out a small opening. It was not enough for Yi Chunfeng to leave this place. Heartless heavenly Tao! Mo Fengyun's murderous aura surged over. Yi Chunfeng immediately condensed 4 heavenly Tao runes and blasted out the wrath of heaven's wrath. It was like a raging sea that blasted towards Mo Fengyun. Tsk. There was the sound of cloth being torn apart. Mo Fengyun's all-out attack tore apart the terrifying power of heaven's wrath. Intense explosions echoed in the sky. Go! The moment heaven's wrath delayed Mo Fengyun's attack, Yi Chunfeng and Jin Qing Dragon Bloodlion flew into the void and arrived at the spatial crack where the space devourer bug was trying its best to bite. Shadow Hand! Mo Fengyun saw that Yi Chunfeng was trying to escape. His dark Tao rune and shadow Tao rune instantly condensed together and formed a huge black hand that covered the sky. It carried an unparalleled pressure as it blasted towards Yi Chunfeng and Jin Qing Dragon Bloodlion. 7 Swords of Judgment, Eclipse. Yi Chunfeng instantly ignited his dragon bloodline and condensed 5 killing halos. He raised his physical strength to the limit and used his monarch weapon to execute his ultimate move, Eclipse Sword. Jin Qing Dragon Bloodlion also ignited its dragon bloodline and spat out dragon power to attack. Facing Yi Chunfeng and Jin Qing Dragon Bloodlion's terrifying attacks, the Shadow Hand's attack was forcefully blocked. Waves of violent energy filled the void. Primordial Chaos Roar. Just as the 3 terrifying attacks were fiercely repelling each other in midair and releasing boundless energy, the primordial chaos divine beast released a violent roar and heavily bombarded the Shadow Hand, destroying it in one fell swoop. Die. The moment the Shadow Hand was destroyed, Mo Fengyun's entire body fused with the supreme-grade heaven's artifact long spear. The sharp spear aura was like a black flood dragon baring its fangs and brandishing its claws. It tore through the chaotic air and let out an ear-piercing explosion as it pierced towards Yi Chunfeng. Sword Puppet. Mo Fengyun's human weapon fusion spear pierced over. Yi Chunfeng, who smelled the scent of death, did not hesitate to summon the sword puppet. Relying on its indestructible body, it blocked Mo Fengyun's fatal spear. After neutralizing Mo Fengyun's human weapon fusion spear, the sword puppet's energy was completely depleted, and it had completely lost its ability to fight. At this moment, under the immense pressure, the space-swallowing bug was doing its best to widen the spatial crack. It was enough for Yi Chunfeng to escape. Come, let's go out. Yi Chunfeng decisively kept the sword puppet and the space-swallowing bug into his universe ring. Before Mo Fengyun could attack, he and Jin Qing Dragon Bloodlion flew out of the spatial crack. When Mo Fengyun saw Yi Chunfeng escaping from the spatial crack, he immediately sped up and chased after him. The moment he passed through the spatial crack, his pupils immediately shrank into the most dangerous pinhole shape. Yi Chunfeng and the two heavenly beasts took this opportunity to launch their most ferocious attacks on him. The heavenly Tao is heartless. Yi Chunfeng took a deep breath. Without caring about his body's endurance, he forcibly condensed 5 heavenly Tao patterns and released a terrifying heavenly might. Dragon's strength. Primordial chaos roar. The two heavenly beasts also spared no effort in their attacks, wanting to take this opportunity to injure Mo Fengyun. With half of his body stuck in the spatial crack, Mo Fengyun was unable to dodge Yi Chunfeng and the two heavenly beasts' attack. He could only use his golden turtle shell to defend himself. Boom! 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 Earth-shattering explosions rang out. Boundless energy exploded above Mo Fengyun's head. The turbulent energy spread out like a tidal wave on the surface of the turtle shell. Although the golden turtle shell's defense was shocking, facing the strongest attacks from Yi Chunfeng and the two heavenly beasts head-on, it still produced a powerful anti-gravity force that blasted Mo Fengyun into the spatial crack. Let's go. After successfully injuring Mo Fengyun, Yi Chunfeng immediately leaped onto the Jin Qing Dragon Bloodlion and rode on it to escape into the depths of the spatial crack. Just as Yi Chunfeng rode on the Jin Qing Dragon Bloodlion and sped through the spatial crack for more than an hour, he suddenly saw a flaming cloud in front of him. It was spewing out boundless energy, turning the spatial crack into a fiery red color. In the middle of the fire cloud, there was a mysterious giant that was close to 5 meters tall. Its entire body was filled with explosive muscles, and its skin was dark red. Godfiend. It's that Godfiend. Looking at the mysterious giant in the flaming cloud, the Jin Qing Dragon Bloodlion's eyes suddenly widened. It revealed a terrified expression and could not help but exclaim. Mobile reading website, book address. To facilitate your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record your reading history. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 497. A God Devil is a God Devil. Hearing Jin Qing Dragon Bloodlion's exclamation, Yi Chunfeng's pupils immediately shrank to the size of a pinhole. He looked at the motionless god floating in the fire cloud. Although the God Devil seemed to be dead, when Yi Chunfeng looked at him, he felt like he was looking at a ferocious beast. He instinctively felt fear. Is this God Devil really dead? The more Yi Chunfeng looked at the God Devil, the more apprehensive he became. He didn't know why, but he had a feeling that this God Devil was not dead. He was just in a deep sleep. Once he woke up, he would kill him. Just as Yi Chunfeng's heart was filled with fear and he was hesitating about whether he should take the risk and approach the Godfiend to search for the great fortuitous opportunity he had left behind, he suddenly felt a sharp attack coming from behind him. Mo Fengyun. Facing this sudden attack, Yi Chunfeng and Jin Qing Dragon Bloodlion quickly dodged, avoiding this sure-kill spear attack. What is that? Mo Fengyun was startled when he saw the God Devil lying in the fire cloud. He was shocked and didn't take advantage of the opportunity to attack. Could this be the corpse of a heaven domain expert? Sensing how extraordinary the God Devil was, Mo Fengyun's eyes burned with passion. However, his powerful soul felt that there was a great danger around the God Devil, so he didn't dare to act rashly. Kill that brat first, then take the heaven domain expert's corpse for myself. Mo Fengyun's eyes flashed with killing intent as he locked onto Yi Chunfeng. Just as he was about to attack with all his might, Yi Chunfeng radiated all the power of the God-Eater brain. He left Jin Qing Dragon Blood Lion outside and entered the space covered by the red clouds alone. Where do you think you're going? Mo Fengyun saw Yi Chunfeng suddenly charging toward the mysterious corpse and roared. He chased after Yi Chunfeng with his black spear, not giving him a chance to get close to the god devil's corpse. As Yi Chunfeng and Mo Fengyun approached the mysterious corpse at an extremely fast speed, large amounts of black flames and dark gray lightning bolts drilled out of the crimson fiery cloud, bombarding the two of them like the wrath of the heavens. What kind of flames and lightning are these? Feeling the destructive power contained within the black flames and the dark gray lightning, Yi Chunfeng's expression changed greatly. He did not doubt that even if his body was comparable to a high-grade heaven artifact, as long as it was struck by the black flames or the dark gray lightning, his body would undoubtedly be destroyed. Wind riding technique. Yi Chunfeng's body moved. He wanted to use the wind riding technique to avoid the black flames and the dark gray lightning. However, the moment he dodged, a terrifying pressure gushed out from the crimson void. It was as if a towering mountain was pressing down on his body. The spatial pressure was so strong that even with Yi Chunfeng's body, which was comparable to a high-grade heaven artifact, he could not withstand it with his 850,000 gene of strength. All the muscles in his body trembled, and his breathing became difficult. He was nearly pressed to the ground. Not good. Suddenly facing the terrifying spatial pressure, Yi Chunfeng was unable to dodge the black flames and dark gray lightning. He was in a desperate situation. Sword Puppet Defend. At this critical moment, Yi Chunfeng summoned the Sword Spirit Puppet. He raised the Sword Spirit Puppet that had lost its ability to move high up in the air and used it as a shield above his head, taking on the attacks of the black flames and dark gray lightning head-on. Yi Chunfeng's life was in danger, and so was Mo Fengyun. His body was suppressed by the terrifying spatial pressure, and he had to endure the frenzied attacks of the black flames and dark gray lightning. With his mobility greatly restricted, Mo Fengyun immediately took out the golden tortoise shell, which was comparable to a supreme-grade heaven artifact, to defend against the black flames and dark gray lightning. Mo Fengyun's strength might be far stronger than Yi Chunfeng, but the golden tortoise shell's defense was not comparable to the sword puppet. This directly caused Mo Fengyun's situation to be more dangerous than Yi Chunfeng's. The opportunity is right in front of me. I must not give up. Yi Chunfeng was well aware of the dangers ahead, but he had a fearless and unyielding heart. No difficulty could stop him from moving forward. Furthermore, his powerful soul spirit did not detect any trace of vitality in the Godfiend's corpse. He was basically sure that the Godfiend in front of him was already dead. That Godfiend's cave abode, which was enough to make the Heaven Domain's almighty experts fight over it, might have been shrunk and hidden in his body. Yi Chunfeng took a deep breath and ignited his dragon bloodline, increasing his strength by 2 folds. He raised the sword puppet high up and endured the heaven's wrath attacks. He moved forward with great difficulty, but he did not look back as he walked towards the floating Godfiend's corpse. Mo Fengyun did not fall behind. With heavy steps, he moved forward with great difficulty. Rumble. As they moved closer, the pressure on Yi Chunfeng and Mo Fengyun increased, and the destructive attacks became more ferocious. This is too terrifying. If not for the sword puppet, I would probably be dead already. Drenched in sweat, Yi Chunfeng's arms, which were holding the sword puppet high up, were severely numb. He was moving forward like a snail, and his heart was trembling more and more. Large amounts of blood flowed out from his cracked arms. As for Mo Fengyun, whose defense was not as strong as his injuries were even more severe. Left with no choice, Mo Fengyun transformed into his strongest beast soul form, greatly increasing his physical strength and defense. Beast soul form. The moment Mo Fengyun transformed into his beast soul form, Yi Chunfeng did not hesitate to reveal his transformation trump card. Large amounts of blood-red dragon scales instantly covered his body, and his powerful strength rapidly increased like a tide. In the blink of an eye, Yi Chunfeng had transformed into a half-human half-dragon form, and his physical strength had exceeded 5 million jin. What? How is this possible? He is only a rank 2 defiant beast king. How can he use his beast soul form? Seeing Yi Chunfeng covered in blood-red dragon scales and transformed into a half-human half-beast form, Mo Fengyun's heart was in turmoil. His eyes looked as though he had seen a ghost. After transforming into his beast soul form, Yi Chunfeng's pressure was greatly reduced. He continued to endure the heavy pressure and destructive attacks while advancing with difficulty. 10 meters, 8 meters, 5 meters. Just as Yi Chunfeng was ahead of Mo Fengyun and was 3 meters away from the god's corpse, a large amount of dark gray lightning intertwined to form a lightning net. It was fused with the power of the black flames and bombarded him. Rumble! The lightning net and the black flames bombarded the sword puppet. The terrifying power passed through the sword puppet and ruthlessly pressed down on Yi Chunfeng's body. The terrifying power instantly exceeded his body's endurance. His legs went soft and he almost knelt on the ground. Qi and blood power ignite. Yi Chunfeng clenched his teeth and relied on his unyielding belief to straighten his spine. The red clouds gave birth to another destructive power. This power was several times stronger than the previous attack. It was a fatal threat to Yi Chunfeng. Blood, why is there a drop of blood in his mind? Just as Yi Chunfeng was prepared to fight to the death, the God-Eater brains radiated into the god's corpse's soul. It sensed a drop of blood in his mind. It was a drop of blood that contained boundless energy. At this moment, the energy in the red clouds descended. The black flames mixed with the dark gray lightning carried the power to destroy space and bombarded Yi Chunfeng. Heaven Dao pattern break. At this critical moment, 4 Heaven Dao patterns gushed out from Yi Chunfeng's body and ruthlessly bombarded the destructive attack descending from the sky. At the next moment, Yi Chunfeng's body erupted with astonishing strength and soul power. Before the destructive black flames and dark gray lightning could reach him, he accelerated and forcefully crossed the distance of 3 meters. He appeared beside the giant god's corpse. Just as Yi Chunfeng reached out to touch the god's corpse that even the almighty experts in the divine domain were terrified of, and wanted to borrow its body to block the destructive attack, a phenomenon occurred. The blood in the god's corpse's mind surged with endless blood light. It was like a huge devouring mouth that swallowed Yi Chunfeng and disappeared. Mobile reading website, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this reading. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 498. Rumble, rumble, rumble. A deep purple bolt of lightning tore through the crimson sky like a dancing lightning dragon. It carried with it a terrifying power as it roared through the starry sky. Where am I? Yi Chunfeng gradually regained consciousness. He discovered that he had appeared in a mysterious crimson starry sky. Meteors with long tails were flying through the starry sky. What is that? Just as Yi Chunfeng was looking around this strange starry sky, a giant vortex suddenly appeared in the starry sky. This vortex's power was boundless. Wherever it swept through, the heavens collapsed and the earth cracked. Even the stars were swallowed by it, instantly annihilating them into nothingness. Seeing the destructive vortex devour the starry sky with his own eyes, Yi Chunfeng felt nothing but shock. This feeling was indescribable with words. He believed that he would never be able to forget what was happening in front of him for the rest of his life, nor would he ever forget it. Just as Yi Chunfeng was stunned by the scene in front of him, a stalwart figure suddenly appeared in the vortex and let out an earth-shattering roar. For a time, the entire starry sky collapsed and space-time became chaotic. The terrifying roar deeply shocked Yi Chunfeng's soul, causing his mind to go blank. God Fiend, it's that God Fiend. He didn't die. Yi Qinfeng's eyes widened in shock as he watched the crimson figure slowly walk out of the spatial whirlpool. His body was like a mountain as he released an aura that could destroy the heavens and the earth. The god-fiend looked deeply at the shocked Yi Qinfeng and said in a tyrannical voice, "Defeat me and inherit everything I have. The loser die." Defeat you? Feeling the god-fiend's invincible aura, Yi Qinfeng felt as if a mountain was pressing down on his chest. It was difficult for him to breathe. His fearless and unyielding heart was filled with fear, and he couldn't summon any fighting spirit. No, he isn't a real god-fiend. Just as Yi Qinfeng felt fear in the face of an undefeatable enemy, the God-Eater brain, which was rapidly deducing, noticed something. That drop of blood. This fiend god was formed from that drop of blood. With the help of the God-Eater brain, Yi Qinfeng finally understood the true situation of the invincible fiend god in front of him. He also clearly felt the blood on his forehead that was like a flame, releasing endless power. Stepping onto the heaven-defying path of cultivation, I am destined to face the myriad Daos of the heavens. Today, I will use you to improve my heart of martial arts. After understanding the secrets of the demonic god, Yi Qinfeng felt that he still had a sliver of hope to defeat him. His morale was reinvigorated, and his battle intent was raised. With his body as the center, an unparalleled battle intent spread out in all directions. Boom, boom, boom. Just as Yi Qinfeng's battle intent surged to the limit, the gigantic fiend god took a step forward, directly trampling through the strange starry space. A mountain-like hand slammed down from the void, causing the entire space to collapse under this palm attack. Beast soul form. Dragon bloodline, ignite. Slaughter halo, slaughter amplification. When the fiend god's palm attack came, Yi Qinfeng instantly transformed into his strongest half-human half-dragon form. He unleashed all his trump cards, raising his strength to the limit, and faced the attack with his king weapon. 7 Swords of Judgment, Eclipse. A scarlet sword of light that was like the scorching sun carried an unstoppable sword might. It swept up a force of over 5 million jin, and it was like the sea was overturning the world. It tore through space as the sword met the attack. The instant the two attacks collided, a boundless storm was set off in the sky. A terrifying power wantonly spread out, causing one's heart to tremble in fear. Kacha. Although the fiend god in front of them was formed from the mysterious drop of blood, the power it contained was beyond the scope of the Duhan continent. In just an instant, the Eclipse sword was shattered. The terrifying sky-covering hand brought an unparalleled pressure as it covered Yi Qinfeng, wanting to kill him in one blow. Sword puppet defend. Yi Qinfeng didn't dare to face the fiend god's attack head-on. He didn't hesitate to summon the sword puppet and poured a force of 5 million jin into it, forcefully withstanding the sky-covering hand's attack. PFFF. When the sky-covering hand hit the sword puppet, it immediately released a frenzied destructive power, bombarding the sword puppet. It directly broke Yi Qinfeng's arms and injured his body. Large amounts of blood spurted out from his mouth. Life Dao intent, repair. With his arms broken, Yi Qinfeng immediately controlled the life Dao intent to repair his arms. He also controlled the God-Eater brain to quickly deduce the fiend god's weakness. Boom! The fiend god's deep eyes shot out a light that was even more dazzling than the stars. It charged at Yi Qinfeng with an unparalleled fist. Wherever the terrifying fist light went, space exploded and the air surged. The vast fist light was like a meteor that fell to the mortal world, bringing a fatal threat to Yi Qinfeng. Heavenly Dao's Heartless. The destructive fist light came at an extremely fast speed, as 4 heavenly Dao patterns flew out of Yi Qinfeng's body. They quickly transformed into the wrath of the heavens and met the attack. The heavenly Dao's Heartless formed by the 4 heavenly Dao patterns was stronger than Eclipse, but when it struck the fiend god's fist light, it shattered without any suspense. Flaming Dragon Annihilation. The moment the Heaven Dao was mercilessly shattered, the 20 Sword Dao patterns, Thunder Dao patterns, and fire Tao patterns fused together and turned into 9 ferocious flaming dragons. They roared as they collided with the destructive fist light. Boom, boom, boom. 9 deafening explosions sounded. The 9 dragons' sword slash was still unable to withstand the fiend god's fist. Vermilion Bird Cauldron. At the critical moment, the vermilion bird cauldron that was constantly refining the Tao treasure fragments flew out of Yi Chunfeng's body and heavily struck the fiend god's fist, finally withstanding the fiend god's fist. How can this be? Why doesn't the fiend god formed by the mysterious blood have a weakness? Despite the god-devouring brain's rapid inference, Yi Chunfeng failed to discover the fiend god's weakness. If he could not discern the fiend god's weakness, Yi Chunfeng would not have been able to defeat him given the huge difference in strength. Chaos, have you discovered the fiend god's weakness? Yi Chunfeng took a deep breath and suppressed the surging lifeblood in his body as he sent a voice transmission to the Chaos Divine Beast. That drop of blood should be his only weakness. While Yi Chunfeng was resisting the fiend god's attack with all his might, the Chaos Divine Beast had been constantly observing and had discovered the existence of the mysterious blood. Sigh, but I feel that the drop of blood is the most terrifying part of his defense. With my present offensive strength, there's no way I can penetrate the defense around the drop of blood, said Yi Chunfeng with a helpless sigh. While Yi Chunfeng was communicating with the Chaos Divine Beast, the fiend god's body surged with boundless energy, stirring up the stars in the sky to revolve around him. In the next moment, the fiend god's body surged with waves of blood and turned into a destructive ball of light. It crushed the space and crashed towards Yi Chunfeng. Vermilion Bird Cauldron, attack! Yi Chunfeng's eyes narrowed as he continued to control the Vermilion Bird Cauldron to meet the attack. He wanted to use the Vermilion Bird Cauldron's offensive strength to block the fiend god's destructive attack. However, the destructive ball of light contained a terrifying amount of energy. The explosive force forcefully knocked away the Vermilion Bird Cauldron and continued to blast towards Yi Chunfeng. It forced Yi Chunfeng to use the sword puppet to defend with all his might. Boom! The destructive ball of light struck the sword puppet and immediately exploded. It crazily released destructive energy as though the end of the world had arrived and engulfed Yi Chunfeng. Under the destructive force of this destructive force, Yi Chunfeng's body, which was comparable to a high-grade heaven artifact, shattered. Large amounts of flesh and blood turned into dust. Facing a near-invincible fiend god, Yi Chunfeng, who was on the verge of collapse, was on the brink of death. He could lose his life at any time. Mobile reading home, book address. To make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 499. Die. Just as Yi Chunfeng was burning his power of blood and controlling the life Tao pattern to repair his shattered body while enduring the destructive energy attack, the towering god-fiend appeared in front of him and blasted a fatal punch at him, wanting to kill him with a single punch. Boom! After receiving the god-fiend's punch head-on, Yi Chunfeng's body was immediately shattered. Blood splattered everywhere and exposed the Chaos Divine Wood at his heart meridian. Yi Chunfeng had never felt such despair before. It wasn't because he didn't have enough foundation or strength, but because the god-fiend in front of him was too powerful and was beyond his ability to resist. No, I cannot give up. If I give up, everything will end. I still have a chance to defeat him. In the face of a life-and-death test, Yi Chunfeng knew that he had no choice but to fight to the death and risk his life. If he could make it, he would be able to inherit the god-fiend's relic. If he couldn't, he would step into the bottomless abyss and be consigned to eternal damnation. Power of blood, fuse with the Chaos Divine Wood. Yi Chunfeng reignited his will to fight. His fire of life was burning fiercely as he fused with the life spirit that had the ability to revive and restore his body. At the same time, He was controlling large amounts of power of blood and injecting it into the Chaos Divine Wood for his final gamble. After fusing with Yi Chunfeng's power of blood and qi, the Chaos Divine Wood shot out 5-colored divine light. It swayed in the destructive storm and protected Yi Chunfeng's fire of life. Looking at the Chaos Divine Wood swaying in the wind, the God Fiend's bell-sized eyes shot out resplendent starlight. He blasted out a shocking fist light that wanted to shatter the sky, wanting to shatter the Chaos Divine Wood. Buzz, buzz, buzz. After receiving the God Fiend's strongest punch, the Chaos Divine Wood shook violently. The 21 5-colored divine leaves instantly fell off and turned into 5-colored divine light. Under the control of Yi Chunfeng's intent, they attacked the mysterious blood on the God Fiend's forehead. The 5-colored divine leaves attack was Yi Chunfeng's final move. If it didn't work, then death would be awaiting him. Tisk tisk tisk. After receiving continuous attacks from the 5-colored divine leaves, the defense on the God Fiend's forehead cracked bit by bit. The 5-colored divine leaves bombarded the mysterious blood on the God Fiend's forehead with irresistible force. In an instant, boundless blood light was released from the mysterious blood and resisted the attacks from the 5-colored divine leaves. Primal Chaos Divine Wood, devour blood. Yi Chunfeng, who was rapidly recovering from the Chaos Divine Wood's attack, immediately controlled the Chaos Divine Wood to form the 5-colored root. They pierced into the wound on the Chaos Divine Demon's forehead at an extremely fast speed and forcibly devoured the mysterious blood. As long as the Chaos Divine Wood devoured the mysterious blood, this demon god with the power to destroy heaven and earth would immediately disappear. Yi Chunfeng would also have the opportunity to inherit everything he left behind. Being attacked by the roots of the primal Chaos Divine Tree, the mysterious blood shone even brighter. It was like a bloody sun crushing the 5-colored roots, not giving them a chance to devour it. However, the Chaos Divine Wood completely countered it. Under Yi Chunfeng's relentless efforts, the Chaos Divine Wood continued to form 5-colored roots, clashing fiercely with the mysterious blood in the god demon's mind. Roar! When the Chaos Divine Wood and the mysterious blood clashed, the god clutched his head with both hands and let out a painful roar. The terrifying sound waves stirred up a terrifying interstellar storm in the strange starry sky. Chaos Divine Wood, devour with all your might. Being attacked by the interstellar storm, Yi Chunfeng, who was recovering his body with the help of the Spirit of Life, quickly summoned the sword puppet. He relied on his indestructible body to withstand the baptism of the interstellar storm and controlled the Chaos Divine Wood to devour the mysterious blood. After about 5 minutes, under the continuous attacks of the Chaos Divine Wood's 5-colored roots, the mysterious blood's defense was finally broken. A large number of 5-colored roots pierced into the mysterious blood and started to devour it. Phew, it's done. Sensing that the Chaos Divine Wood had successfully devoured the 5-colored roots, Yi Chunfeng let out a long breath of relief. He knew that his crisis had been resolved in a short period of time. He calmed down and poured all his energy into the Chaos Divine Wood, speeding up its devouring of the mysterious blood. Damn it, where did that brat go? Why did he suddenly disappear? Seeing Yi Chunfeng disappear after being devoured by the blood light in the god demon's mind, Mo Fengyun's eyes widened, and his expression changed greatly. There is something wrong with the corpse of the celestial domain's mighty figure. His fortuitous opportunity must not be obtained by that brat. Looking at the god demon's corpse, Mo Fengyun felt that the most precious fortuitous opportunity in the ethereal immortal realm must be related to him. With a roar, he endured the dual attacks of the black flames and dark gray lightning and forcefully approached the god demon's corpse. Roar! When Mo Fengyun forcefully approached the god demon's corpse, an earth-shattering roar was released from the god demon's corpse. It was like a destructive storm that ruthlessly bombarded Mo Fengyun's body and sent him flying. In the next moment, the dark gray lightning interweaved into a lightning net that directly covered him. It crazily destroyed his body, wanting to destroy him. After transforming into his beast soul form, Mo Fingyun's defense had reached an extremely terrifying level. However, under the attack of the dark gray lightning net, the black snake scales that covered his body were constantly shattered. A heart-wrenching pain spread throughout his body. Sensing that his body was about to break apart and smelling the scent of death, Mo Fingyun decisively executed his ultimate move. He erupted with his most ferocious attack and forcefully tore apart the lightning net, leaving the god demon's corpse at an extremely fast speed. You can forget about obtaining what I can't obtain. No matter what kind of inheritance or fortuitous opportunity you obtain, I will definitely kill you. After escaping in a sorry state outside the red cloud space, Mo Fingyun consumed several heaven-rank soul pills to stabilize his injuries. He took out the 9 nether golden orchid and swallowed it. He was prepared to refine the 9 nether golden orchid to further increase his strength and increase his comprehension of the Tao of Darkness. He was going to wait for Yi Chunfeng to obtain the god demon's fortuitous opportunity and kill him with all his might and destroy everything he had. Minutes and seconds passed. Under the suppression of the Chaos Divine Wood, the mysterious blood in the god demon's mind was completely devoured by the Chaos Divine Wood. After devouring the mysterious blood that contained terrifying energy, the Chaos Divine Wood continued to grow new 5-colored divine leaves. A large amount of chaotic energy was also nurtured. Soon, the Chaos Divine Wood grew a little taller. It grew 35-colored divine leaves and nurtured 10 streaks of chaotic energy. The Chaos Divine Wood absorbed the chaotic energy nurtured by the mysterious blood. The energy it contained was obviously stronger than before. It was enough to penetrate a supreme-grade heaven artifact. I didn't expect that a human in such a lowly realm would actually be able to subdue my blood essence. It seems that my death here is also destined. Now, I will fulfill my promise and give you the blood essence that I refined throughout my life. However, how much of my blood essence you can absorb will depend on your luck and your physique. In addition to my blood essence, I will also give you the greatest fortuitous opportunity that I obtained in the heaven region, my cave abode. I narrowly escaped death and obtained that cave abode in an ancient ruin in the heaven region. With my strength back then, I only managed to open 3 layers of space and obtain the cave abode's inheritance. As for how many layers there are in the cave abode and what inheritance there is in the remaining layers, I don't know. Then, like a meteor, the ancient god's cave abode broke through the starry sky and appeared in front of Yi Chunfeng. Because I didn't completely refine this cave abode back then, my drop of blood can't help you recognize it as your master. Whether or not it can finally recognize you as its master will depend on your ability. After speaking, the god demon's voice disappeared. Only the floating cave abode was left in the strange starry sky. Mobile reading website, book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 500. God Demon Cave Abode. Looking at the ancient cave abode that looked like a meteorite, Yi Chunfeng's eyes shot out a fiery glow. Even with how terrifying the god demon was, he could only open up the 3rd level of the cave abode. He didn't dare to imagine what kind of great opportunities and inheritances were hidden behind this cave abode. However, he was sure that the value of this cave abode was enough to set off a bloodbath in the heaven region. All the mighty figures in the heaven region would fight for it, let alone in the Duhan continent. Chaos Divine Wood, come. Yi Chunfeng summoned the Chaos Divine Wood that had devoured the god demon blood. He was prepared to fuse with the god demon blood that the Chaos Divine Wood had devoured to increase his strength before thinking of a way to recognize the god demon cave abode as its master. The Chaos Divine Wood reached Yi Chunfeng's heart meridian and immediately released boundless blood aura. It flowed through Yi Qinfeng's tough meridians and fused into his body. As the god-demon blood aura that the Chaos Divine Wood was releasing was too strong, Yi Qinfeng's body was under a huge burden. His breathing became extremely difficult, and his heartbeat was extremely heavy. Hoo-hoo! The burden on his body was getting stronger. Yi Qinfeng immediately circulated the soul-devouring art and the 9 transformations divine transformation to quickly refine the god-demon blood aura and increase his strength, while condensing the 4th soul pearl and the god-demon bloodline. How can this be? This god-demon bloodline seems to be rejecting my body. During the process of condensing the god-demon bloodline and the 4th soul pearl, Yi Qinfeng felt as though his body was on fire. The burning was unbearable. He endured the intense pain and tried to condense it for more than an hour. The soul power contained was constantly increasing, but there were no signs of the god-demon bloodline in his body. It was as though the god-demon bloodline was rejecting his body. Primal Chaos, do you know why the demonic god blood is rejecting me? Unable to condense the god-demon bloodline, Yi Qinfeng had no choice but to ask the Chaos Divine Beast that was parasitic in the Chaos Divine Wood and was also absorbing the god-demon blood to recover its strength. Amen. If my guess is correct, the reason why the demonic god blood rejected you is because the one who subdued it was the chaotic divine wood and not you. The divine beast of chaos pondered for a moment. He searched through his inherited memories and said, "Boss, when you refine the divine demon blood later, try to use your soul to sense the divine demon will in the blood. If you can make the divine demon will in the divine demon blood acknowledge you, it should not reject your body. This blood still contains remnant fiend god wills." Yi Qinfeng frowned slightly. According to the Chaos God Beast's instructions, when he used the soul-devouring art to refine the fiend god blood, he controlled the god-devouring brain to sense the fiend god wills. Under the god-eater brain's infiltration, a powerful will surged into Yi Qinfeng's mind like a storm, forming a huge vortex. And in the vortex, a majestic figure vaguely appeared, facing the crimson sky and roaring at the sky. Demonic God, its blood really does contain demonic god wills. Seeing the demonic god's figure in the depths of his mind, Yi Qinfeng sucked in a cold breath. He did not expect the demonic god to be so terrifying. It had been dead for over 100,000 years, but its blood still contained such a terrifying will. Boom! Just as Yi Qinfeng was staring at the demonic god's figure, the demonic god walked out of the vortex, its eyes emitting cold arrogance and nobility. With a stomp, it shattered Yi Qinfeng's soul. In the next moment, the demonic god's body emitted a majestic will that attacked Yi Qinfeng's soul. It wanted to tear his soul apart and destroy his will. God-devouring brain, devour the demonic god's will. At the crucial moment, the god-devouring brain appeared in Yi Qinfeng's mind. It quickly wriggled and formed a black devouring vortex. It released a vortex that could stir up heaven and earth. While it repaired Yi Qinfeng's soul, it swept towards the demonic god's will. Roar, roar, roar. As the devouring vortex attacked, the demonic gods will constantly let out a roar that could pierce through clouds and shatter rock. It blasted out destructive fist radiance and bombarded the devouring vortex, wanting to shatter it. Unfortunately, the god-devouring brain's existence was even more heaven-defying. The devouring vortex it formed constantly crushed the attacks of the demonic god's will. It directly swallowed the demonic god's will in the vortex and crazily crushed it. When the god-devouring brain was resisting the demonic god's will in Yi Qinfeng's mind, Yi Qinfeng felt a splitting headache. It was as if his head was going to explode. Endure, I must endure. In order to form the demonic god's bloodline in his body, Yi Qinfeng relied on his unyielding will to endure bitterly. He endured the intense pain in his soul and used all his strength to control the god-devouring brain to devour the demonic god's will. At this very moment, every minute and every second felt like years to Yi Qinfeng. Under the immense torment, Yi Chunfeng was in so much pain that he wished he was dead. A large amount of blood flowed out from his 7 orifices. It was a very terrifying sight. Finally, Yi Chunfeng bitterly endured for more than 2 hours. He was tortured to the brink of death. When his soul was on the verge of collapse, the devouring vortex formed by the god-devouring brain finally crushed the demonic god's will and completely devoured it. After the god-devouring brain devoured the demonic god's will, the demonic god's blood no longer rejected Yi Chunfeng's body. Under the god-devouring brain's 9 divine transformation, the demonic god's blood was constantly fusing with his body. Peak of Class 2 Reverse Beast King. In just 10 breaths, Yi Chunfeng felt that he had reached the peak of Class 2 Reverse Beast King realm. His body was filled with soul power that was several times stronger than an ordinary Class 6 Reverse Beast King. Boom! After a few more breaths, Yi Chunfeng's strength continued to increase. He broke through from Class 2 Reverse Beast King to Class 3 Reverse Beast King realm. The 4th soul pearl in his Shinjua acupoint was faintly forming. After breaking through to the next realm, Yi Chunfeng's soul power and the double-headed Blood Dragon King's strength continued to increase. A new bloodline was slowly forming in his body. The demonic god's bloodline has finally formed in my body. Feeling this new bloodline, Yi Chunfeng's delicate face revealed a faint smile. He dismissed all distracting thoughts and continued to focus on refining the demonic god's blood. Buzz, buzz. A powerful force was released from his Shinjua acupoint and condensed a large amount of demonic god's blood. Yi Chunfeng had successfully condensed his 4th soul pearl. At the same time, his physical strength had reached an astonishing 5 million kilograms. Just his physical strength alone was enough to crush a Class 6 Reverse Beast King. Not long after Yi Chunfeng condensed the 4th spiritual orb, a strand of crimson bloodline formed in his body. This strand of crimson bloodline was the divine demon bloodline, which was even more powerful than the dragon bloodline. As this drop of demonic god's blood was refined from the essence of the demonic god, Yi Chunfeng's demonic god's bloodline had directly reached the Class 2 bloodline level. After the demonic god's bloodline was formed, the chaos divine would suddenly stop releasing the demonic god's blood. Yi Chunfeng's strength was also fixed at the peak of Class 3 Reverse Beast King realm. N. Bloodline ability. This demonic god's bloodline actually contains a type of bloodline ability. When Yi Chunfeng was silently sensing the demonic god's bloodline, he unexpectedly discovered that the Class 2 demonic god's bloodline bestowed a powerful bloodline ability, the demonic god's body. As the name suggested, the demonic god's body burned the demonic god's bloodline and could instantly transform into the universe's most top-notch physical body, the demonic god's body. Demonic god's body. With a roar, Yi Chunfeng completely burned the demonic god's bloodline. A terrifying power was released from his body, constantly increasing his physical strength. His entire body also grew along with the increase in physical strength. In the blink of an eye, Yi Chunfeng's body grew to nearly 5 meters tall. His entire body was filled with destructive power, as if a demonic god had been reborn. Ha! With a monstrous aura, Yi Chunfeng roared and threw out an earth-shattering punch towards the strange starry sky. For a moment, the entire space rippled like stormy waves. The destructive power formed by the terrifying fist light was like a meteor crashing down. It was incomparably domineering. Mobile reading site, book address. To make it easier for you to read it next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 501. 20 Million Gene of Strength. This Fiend God bloodline is indeed one of the strongest bloodlines in the universe. It's even stronger than the dragon bloodline. With my current strength, I should be able to contend against Mo Fengyun if I use the Fiend God body. Feeling the fiend god body's effect on his physical body and strength, Yi Chunfeng's confidence soared. He felt that he had the ability to fight Mo Fengyun. Even if he couldn't win in the end, it would be very difficult for Mo Fengyun to kill him. Phew, it's time to refine this fiend god cave dwelling. With his strength soaring, Yi Chunfeng came to the floating fiend god cave dwelling in silence. He bit his finger and pressed it on the fiend god cave dwelling, attempting to make it recognize him as its master. Kill, kill, kill. Wheel of life and death, Nirvana heavenly Tao, no one can obstruct my path. If the heavens obstruct me, I will destroy the heavens. If the gods obstruct me, I will kill the gods. When Yi Chunfeng injected his blood into the fiend god cave dwelling, a roar filled with battle intent resounded in his mind. Vaguely, a sphere of light appeared in his mind and slowly rotated. Every time this sphere of light rotated, it would bring Yi Chunfeng immense pain and torment, causing his entire body to tremble. After experiencing the inhumane torment again, Yi Chunfeng still couldn't break down his strong martial heart. He stared at the fiend god cave dwelling with his blood-red eyes. He continuously injected blood into the fiend god cave dwelling while controlling the god-eater brain to corrode the strange sphere of light in his mind. 1 day, 3 days, 5 days. The fiend god cave dwelling's level was too high. Yi Chunfeng spent 60% of his blood and spent nearly 7 days, but he still couldn't recognize the fiend god cave dwelling as its master. However, Yi Chunfeng wasn't discouraged. He continued to inject blood into the fiend god cave dwelling while consuming precious blood, replenishing elixirs. He spared no expense to make the fiend god cave dwelling recognize him as its master. Finally, on the 13th day of Yi Chunfeng's refinement, the celestial cave finally stopped absorbing Yi Chunfeng's blood. The strange light sphere in his mind was also completely corroded by the god-eater brain. The universe realm contains a small world. Opening the first layer requires the Battle Beast Emperor realm. In the next moment, Yi Chunfeng's mind was flooded with information. He finally knew the true name of the fiend god cave dwelling. Opening of the first layer requires the Battle Beast Emperor realm. Yi Chunfeng furrowed his brows when he heard the requirement to open the first layer of the universe realm. Because Yi Chunfeng's cultivation foundation was too solid, every breakthrough required an enormous amount of energy. He didn't dare to imagine how much energy he would need to accumulate to break through the limit of Reverse Beast King and reach Battle Beast Emperor. Let's see the God Cave of the Universe Realms. To open seal to open the first layer to Universe Realms of the Fiend Gods. To open the soul power released by the God-Eater brain struck the restriction in the universe mirror at a rate of 10 million times per second, causing a slight ripple. Sensing the ripples in the first layer of space restriction, Yi Chunfeng revealed a trace of joy. He calmed down and continued to increase the frequency of the God-Eater brain's release, trying his best to break the first layer of space restriction. After about a day, the soul power released by the God-Eater brain finally seeped into the first level of the universe realm. Yi Chunfeng's soul sensed a vast space within it. Following that, information about the first level of the universe realm appeared in Yi Chunfeng's mind. The first level of the universe realm contained the universe space. It contained the spiritual chi of heaven and earth, and could contain all living things. The first level of the universe realm can only contain living things. It seems that, if I want to control the universe realm to move across space like a godfiend, I need to open the third level. Yi Chunfeng muttered to himself. So many soul crystals! When Yi Chunfeng released his soul force to cover the entire space in the universe realm's first layer, he discovered a large number of soul crystals. Moreover, the lowest grade of these soul crystals was high-grade soul crystal, and there were a few top-grade soul crystals, but there were no heaven crystals. 1 million high-grade soul crystals and 98 top-grade soul crystals. Yi Chunfeng quickly counted them and revealed a trace of joy. With so many soul crystals, It was enough to support the sword puppet's explosive strength and attack for a long time. However, other than these high-grade soul crystals, he did not find anything left behind by the Godfiend. It was somewhat regretful. Could it be that the Godfiend left behind all their belongings in the third level? Yi Chunfeng guessed in his heart. God-Eater brain continued to seep into the universe realm's space restriction. Thinking of this possibility, Yi Chunfeng controlled the God-Eater brain to continue seeping into the second level of space. However, this time the God-Eater brain failed. No matter how hard it tried, it could not shake the second level of space restriction. Space Devourer Bug, devour the restriction. After the God-Eater brain failed to break through the second level of space restriction, Yi Chunfeng immediately summoned the Space Devourer Bug. He controlled the universe realm to store it in his small world and ordered it to devour the second level of space restriction. Although the Space Devourer Bug's ability to devour spatial restriction was strong, the spatial restriction in the universe realm was too terrifying. It was completely beyond the scope of the Duhan continent. Furthermore, the universe realm was one with the restriction, and the Space Devourer Bug was just a Class 6 heavenly beast. Helpless, Yi Chunfeng could only give up on the idea of opening the second level of the universe realm. And that's not right. Isn't the universe realm able to store all living things? Why can't I enter it? After the Space Devourer Bug failed to devour the second level of space restriction, Yi Chunfeng wanted to enter the universe realm to see what was going on. However, no matter how hard he tried, he could not enter the universe realm. This puzzled him. Boss, you don't have to try anymore. You have only recognized this cave as your master and have not fully refined it. Once you store it in your heart and use your flame of life to completely refine it, you will be able to enter and exit it at will. The Chaos Divine Beast floated out from Yi Chunfeng's body and explained to him. I see. Yi Chunfeng nodded and said, however, even if we can't use the defense of the universe realm, our strength is enough to fight against Mo Fengyun. When Yi Chunfeng was refining the Godfiend blood, the Suzaku cauldron had successfully melted the fragments of the Dao treasure and greatly increased its power. The power it contained was not far from a real Dao treasure. Soul crystals fuse. Yi Chunfeng summoned the sword puppet and took out 10,000 high-grade soul crystals and 48 top-grade soul crystals. He fused all of them into the sword puppet and greatly increased the strength of the sword puppet. Boom! A majestic soul power gushed out from the sword puppet. After fusing with enough energy, the sword puppet once again surpassed the limit of the reverse beast king realm and possessed the strength of a Class 1 combat beast emperor. Let's go. With our current strength, we should have a chance to kill Mo Fengyun. Yi Chunfeng's eyes flashed with killing intent. He controlled the universe realm to shrink to the size of a grain of sand and fused it into his heart. He controlled his flame of life to refine it. Yes, it's time to settle the score with that old bastard. The Chaos Divine Beast nodded and said. After saying that, Yi Chunfeng summoned his soul wings and flew toward a strange spatial crack in the starry sky world at an extremely fast speed. After leaving the God and Devil temporary space, he used a great divine ability to transform into a starry sky space and returned to the real world. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support.